curtailed due to heavy rain after Heat 20 in Daugavpils, Latvia. Round 5 of the World Championship started off in the dry as the series arrived in the Baltics, where the early heats provided plenty of great race action. Ty Woffinden, the current championship leader, struggled with the setup most of the night, but still rescued his evening with 9 points. Greg Hancock, who was third in the standings and despite suffering 2 punctures, finished the evening with a hard-fought 10 points. Denmark's Nicky Pedersen, who eventually was awarded second place in the meeting over Australia's Troy Batchelor, having won their head-to-head battle in Heat 16, finished the evening clawing back 3 valuable points on the championship leader Woffinden. And despite the damp end to the meeting, Joy Janowski promised to keep all celebrations on hold until after the season as he basked in the glory of his first Grand Prix victory.
I think it's like dreams come true, you know. So yeah, when I was a young boy, I remember when I was playing some Speedway games, Speedway GP games. Yeah, you know, it's a big story for me, but we must forget about this now and make new story tomorrow.
So the championship looks like this after 5 rounds. Britain's Ty Woffenden's lead has been reduced to a 9-point gap from Denmark's Nicky Pedersen, with the American Greg Hancock still in third. What's now becoming interesting, though, is the battle for a top 8 spot, as only 10 points cover 4th to 10th for automatic qualification into the GP Series for 2016.
You know, being tied is a positive thing because with a good meeting you can gain a lot. So that's my focus for improving.
You know, not a lot of points to go up a bit, but there's nothing to drop down to, like you said, 10th, 12th place. So the last 2 have been really good, and I like this place. So hopefully the weather's decent tomorrow, and I can get off to a good start and get a few more points.
I try to look ahead and you know, just focus on my own game and you know, get as many points as I can. So yeah.
Sweden. Andreas Jonsson and Thomas H. Jonasson both sit outside the top 8. Arriving here in Malila for their home Grand Prix, both know that a podium place not only would be important for the home fans, but as the series reaches a halfway point of the season, kickstart a fight for a top 8 position for 2016.
I'm in the position where I'm not want to be, you know. I need to catch a lot of points to reach the top 8, and if it's in this GP, I would be glad if I can score a lot of points.
You know, I need to get going. You know, need to make some start, need to make some points. Otherwise, it's not gonna be possible. So I need to do it now, and it will be a good place to do it here at my home track.
Hi there, and a very good evening and a warm welcome to the G&B Arena in Malila, Sweden. And it is the Swedish FIM Speedway Grand Prix. And we're delighted to be here. Kelvin Tatum is alongside me. Kelvin, the talking point here is the fact that we have a meeting at all. Great crowd. That we've had over 15 millimetres of torrential rain today.
Yeah.
Track covers have worked, new material, and the plant and the equipment and the human effort that has gone into this.
Yeah, it is a fabulous effort, and all credit to everybody involved. The decision to put covers on last night has proven to be a very wise one. They've worked really hard to remove them and then get the track into some shape. I'm sure there may well be some challenges for riders, but we're seeing riders now beginning to make their way out for the opening race. But yeah, absolutely delighted to say that we have a Speedway meeting this evening.
Yep, very much so. Here we go then with the first race of the night, and it is quite a lineup as well. Niels Christian Iversen, winner in Cardiff earlier this month. We have 2 world champions, Chris Holder off the inside, and Ty Woffenden going off the outside as well. So it is quite a good way to start the Grand Prix here tonight, Kelvin.
Yeah, terrific lineup for heat number 1, and Woffenden, who probably wasn't quite at his best a week ago in Latvia, found bike setup a real challenge, but here he won, of course, 12 months ago, so he has fond memories of Malila, loves this track, really looking forward to it. Chris Holder as well on the inside. See there the World Championship, 9 points to lead now for him. And Holder on the inside has been riding a lot better of late, and that's refreshing. It's good to see the former World Champion regaining some good form.
Yep, here we go then. Remarkable that we've got a meeting on it all. Let's get on with it. Heat number 1 is on the way. The meeting that never at one stage looked likely to happen. Here we go. Chris Holder going off the inside in red. Chris Harris goes off gate 2 in blue. Niels Christian Iversen gate 3 in white, and the series leader Ty Woffenden is off gate number 4 in yellow. With Kelvin Tatum alongside me in our commentary box. Here we go with the first race of the night. 2 world champions, including the series leader. It really is a great way to open up the evening with Niels Christian Iversen as well, winner at Cardiff, and Chris Harris always capable of throwing in a surprise or two.
Indeed he is, and Niels Christian Iversen is an interesting case because he had a difficult start to the season, coming back from a nasty knee injury last year. But he's really gained some form. The win in Cardiff, no question, was a highlight for him. But Holder also on the inside is beginning to find some good form. Woffenden on the outside, that might present a challenge here in Heat 1.
Craig Ackroyd of Great Britain is our referee here. The green light's on and he's let the tapes go up pretty quickly there, and it's a great start from Holder off the inside gate. Now Woffenden tries to switch up the inside. It's Iversen who's second, Woffenden is third. Chris Harris is at the back. Here comes Iversen now, charging around the outside, putting Holder under serious pressure now, going into the second lap, and Woffenden's on the pace too, looking for the inside cut. It's good speedway here.
Yeah, super stuff. Track's pretty heavy as well. They had to put quite a lot of new material on, but Holder really is gaining in confidence. The inside gate quite possibly is an advantage early on. Iversen settles in second place, although he's a little untidy. That first corner does look like it's a real challenge. But Chris Holder looking like he's beginning to regain some good confidence. Iversen giving Jason second, Woffenden hanging on in third.
Yeah, Chris Holder's on a good run of form right now, and he rides for Peter Turner here in the Swedish League, so the Pirates of Peter Turner, and he rides for the Pirates of Poole in the UK as well. Chris Holder climbing the standings. He's going to go now nicely onto 44 points in the Grand Prix. And that's a good ride from Chris Holder in the red helmet colour. He made that inside gate work. Chris Harris struggled at the back there. Iversen in second, with Woffenden getting a third place there in the opening race. Obviously, conditions are going to take some time to settle down here, Kel.
Yeah, and the entrance to the first corner was presenting a real challenge. It's a little bit soft there and a bit rutty, and riders were having to be just a little bit cautious. No doubt that being out in front for Chris Holder paid massive dividends. And Holder, I tell you what, he's looking a lot better these days.
Yeah, he is. He's in some nice form at the moment, Chris Holder. That was a super ride with Iversen second and Woffenden third. Harris trailing in at the back on that occasion. But super stuff from Chris Holder here in Malila, the home of Dakar in the Swedish League. And it's a fine ride in Heat 1.
Yeah, tapes up and the meeting's underway. Holder on the inside makes a really good fist of it to the first corner. Woffenden from the outside, it was a challenge, a sharp move there to get the better of Harris as they go through that first corner. A long way from the outside, really is. Has to make that decision, the championship leader, to go to the inside, a move that gets him a point. Harris at this stage is now relegated to the back and looks uncomfortable. Iversen comes on strong, and there's no question that as the race came to the end of the first lap, he was really putting pressure on Chris Holder out in front. There's the move from Woffenden up the inside, but a good ride out in front. As I say, just going into the first corner looked a little bit tricky, a little bit of extra grip.
Yeah, it may well be that the opening 4 heats will be along similar lines, that it will just take a little bit of time for the track to settle down here. It's a great start. He's in good form, Chris Holder.
Yeah, pleased to see him with a smile on his face. He's had his troubles. Injury problems really have curtailed his progress in the last couple of years. But, you know, Cardiff, he had a really strong meeting, and since then, he's really beginning to look good. But it's going to be a tough meeting. I do think that first corner, on the evidence of the first race, Nigel, will present a few problems in the opening races.
Well, we have had torrential rain throughout the day. It only cleared up around 6 o'clock tonight here in Malila. Troy Batcher off the inside, Andreas Jonsson, a former Dakar rider, the home track here off 2. Michael Jepsen Jensen does ride for Dakar in the Swedish League, and Jason Doyle is part of the Dakar squad, but has been left out of the last couple of meetings. They do operate a squad system in the Swedish Elite League here, and that is the situation with Jason Doyle as we build up to heat number 2.
We do, and Jepsen Jensen has fond memories of this track, of course. Won the World Cup here a few seasons ago. He was a newcomer then. He's had a couple of quiet seasons, but he's a fully fledged Grand Prix rider now.
Here we go, second race of the night. Can AJ get it right on his former home track? Bachelor's made a decent one off the inside. Now charging across is Doyle. Doyle with a point to prove here at Dakar tonight, the Dakar track, the home here of the Dakar Club. But it's a good ride from Bachelor, who's carrying on his fine form here. He's got the lead, and he took out Doyle down that back straight. Doyle holds second place with Jepsen Jensen third. Jonsson creeping up on the inside, but Doyle has lost it. And Bachelor has lost it, and Doyle pounces.
Yeah, absolutely. Doyle has ridden nicely there, got pushed wide initially by Bachelor, but that first corner is a massive challenge for Rip Rutty, no question about that. Bachelor's struggling. Andreas Jonsson also very untidy, but he now gets the better of Jepsen Jensen. But what an opportunist move it was from Doyle. He's in the front, they don't put him in the team here. This is certainly an answer to that, because he's looking good.
That's why I mentioned early on, a point to prove here. And to Malila and AJ is on the inside of Bachelor now. Andreas Jonsson and Troy Bachelor has gone from first to third, clearly struggling here, but Jason Doyle takes the checkered flag. Andreas Jonsson second, Troy Bachelor third, and Michael Jepsen Jensen at the back there. But what a ride from Jason Doyle. He didn't give up. Bachelor left in the room with a mistake, and Doyle pounced superbly.
Yeah, that was a real tenacious ride from him. The first corner is really demanding. It's heavy and it's a little bit rough as well, and I've got to say, riders are having to use all their strength and skill to get through there, and it's a bit wild, but that man there, all credit to him, showed terrific determination, and it was a bit wild at times, but Doyle gets the 3 points.
Yeah, fine ride from Jason Doyle of Australia. Second place, Andreas Jonsson. Third was Troy Bachelor. And trailing in at the back was Michael Jepsen Jensen. Jonsson, who moved from Dakar to Rospigana, rides for the Lakeside Hammers in the British Elite League as well. But what a ride from this man who rides for Leicester Lions in the UK.
Yeah, he does, and he's doing a fine job for them. And he does a really good job here. He's coming from the outside. He makes a decent effort initially. He's having a blast around the outside here, but Troy Bachelor runs wide there, just gets too much grip, and it actually doesn't do Doyle any favours at all as they come off the first turn. Look, watch Bachelor, straightens up a couple of times there. Leg trailing from Andreas Jonsson as well. It's a wild first corner. Doyle's back in third place, but then Bachelor gets it wrong here. And Doyle's in the right place at the right time to pounce. And fair play to Andreas Jonsson. He was buried out the back, but he powers his way through into second place, getting the better of Troy Bachelor.
Kelvin, here's a point as a rider. You're watching this now. The guys that hit the inside run on the first and second turn appear to be hitting some problems. Is it worth considering driving hard around the outside, perhaps?
Yeah, you might need to just change your line a wee bit, but it is grippy right from the way when you go over the start and finish line. So important is your technique on the bike. You've got to get the handlebar low and have good throttle control and be aware that the bike's going to dig in. But I'd like to think after the 4 heats they can do some track prep.
Matt Sianovsky is the man in red here. Here we see Thomas H. Jonasson in his home country here, but Matt Sianovsky, who won the Latvian Grand Prix a week ago, he goes off the inside. That was curtailed after 20 heats because of the rain in Daugavpils, but Janowski was top scorer and deemed winner of the event. Christoph Kasperzak, who's been in a rotten run of form, goes off gate 2 in blue. Thomas H. Jonasson, gate 3 in white, and Matti Zagar, who is currently 6th in the standings, he goes off the outside.
Yeah, and Zagar can be unbeatable on his night, and he needs a big night because in that sort of area on the championship table, it's very tight indeed, and if you slip up you could drop out of the top 8 very easily, so he'll be aware of that. Janowski on the inside, we're looking at him now, the real deal I reckon, and 2 poles on gates 1 and 2, but Janowski winning a week ago is no fluke. I suggest that he's going to be in and around the big points for some time to come.
Doesn't ride in the Swedish league. Matt Sianovsky just rides in Poland and in the UK. Here we go, heat number 3 coming up here in Malila. Take tries, who's going to hit that first turn? Zagar's made a good one off 4, and Jonasson gets in a spot of bother, but here comes now Zagar around the outside of Janowski. Is there room there? This is a good race as Zagar goes high and gets the drive. That's a stunning ride from the Slovenian. Matti Zagar in yellow, Matt Sianovsky holds second place in red, Thomas H. Jonasson is third. I'm just glad they stayed on the bike because it got all very tight in that first turn.
Yeah, what a great effort that was from Zagar. I just sensed that Janowski was a bit cautious on the opening lap there, and Zagar very committed. He's riding hard. It is tricky in that first corner, but he's fast and he's going for it. Thomas H. Jonasson's having a problem in third, and Kasperzak, well, he gave up the ghost before the end of the first lap rather, but Zagar, all credit to him, Nigel. That was a confident move on the opening lap, and it's paid dividends.
Yeah, and to be fair, Zagar having no problems at all. It was a real fine move from the man who rides for the Bellevue Aces in the UK, Matti Zagar. Another rider who doesn't ride in the Swedish league. He takes the checkered flag. Zagar the winner, with Janowski in second place, and Thomas H. Jonasson will come round for a gift third place because Kasperzak gave up the ghost early on. But it was a great move by Matti Zagar. Obviously the riders are having one or two problems. The situation was that the track was covered. There was torrential rain throughout the day. There's no doubt without the covers the track would have been underwater. They took the covers off. They scraped some wet material off in between the covers, and they've put on some dry material as well. So it will take a while to settle down, I'm sure. But Zagar, no problems from him. Mats Janowski was second place there. Thomas H. Jonasson was third, and Christoph Kasperzak at the back. What a move that was, Kelvin.
Yeah, very confident move from Zagar. You're right, the first corner is really tricky and it's patchy, and they will need to grade that. We're seeing it again. The inside gate is working well, and Janowski rides a very conservative opening lap here. He gives racing room to Zagar, who is committed on the outside. Kasperzak coming out of gate 2 just doesn't look like he's really involved at all. No effort from him, but Zagar, plenty of effort, 100% effort from him. He gets the better of the Polish rider, last week's winner, of course, and he roars around the outside. And you watch him as he comes into turn 3. He's totally committed, look, flat out in there, and that's the way to ride it right now, and he reaps the reward. Brilliant, good technical rider, Zagar. Super stuff from him. He'll be pleased with his opening ride, no question about
And again,
that.
Kelvin, I've never ridden a bike, but I have to ask the question. The boys are hitting problems on the inside line. Zagar there going wide on the first and second turn.
Well,
didn't have any trouble, did he?
No, he didn't, but he had the luxury of being in front, so he could pick his own way. But riders behind him, particularly Thomas H. Jonasson, had all sorts of problems to get there, and that's where I talk about technique on the bike. Good technique, you'll cope with it. Bad technique, you'll have trouble.
Expert analysis from Kelvin Tatum, former world finalist, of course, world long track champion, former England World Cup winning skipper as well, alongside me in the commentary box tonight, here in round number 6, the halfway stage of the 2015 World Championship. Heat number 4 is coming up with Greg Hancock, the reigning world champion, off the inside in red. Gate number 2 in blue. Good to see him back in a GP. Antonio Lindback in the blue helmet colour. Nicky Pedersen breathing down the neck of Ty Woofenden for the world title. Goes off gate 3 in white. He's a home rider here for Dakar. And going off the outside in yellow, the ever so spectacular Peter Killerman. Greg Hancock, his race suit tonight. Bruce Pennell, 1981 world final at Wembley. A replica of that. Reminds me a bit of Evel Knievel as well.
It does, but what a lineup. Fantastic lineup for heat number 4. Peter Kilderman has been exciting and doing the business, I must say, on he comes into the Grand Prix series. Interesting to see how Nicky Pedersen gets on here. Knows this place awfully well, of course. And Hancock's a danger on the inside, no question of it.
I think Nicky will love this. He goes off gate number 3. Good start from Hancock. Lindback is there as well. Look at Pedersen now going high and wide. Pedersen takes the outside run. Lindback's blocked him. Now Hancock comes through. Pedersen is third and Killerman is at the back. Watch out for Nicky. He's going to go fast around the outside of Greg Hancock. And now Antonio Lindback is going to come under some severe pressure from Nicky Pedersen in white. Third is Greg Hancock in red. At the back is Peter Killerman. And look at the ground that Pedersen's making up now.
Yeah, Lindback just running wide there. It's very grippy and he just gets forced wide, but all credit to him. He's hanging on. He got away from the tapes well. Just got to get it right in this corner. He rides a bit more sensibly that time. Good turn there from Lindback. Sensible, intelligent speedway from him. Nicky Pedersen hanging on in second with Hancock now beginning to make inroads on the 3-time world champion. Good battle for second and third, but Lindback out in front, hanging on to the bike. That first corner, that really is a challenge.
Yep, it's Antonio Lindback who's going to come round and take the checkered flag, and the Swedish flag still waving high here in Malila tonight. Pedersen was second, Hancock was third. And Peter Killerman struggling at the back there, but 4 races have been completed here, and that is a super ride from Antonio Lindback, who came under pressure at one stage.
Yeah.
And that was great stuff from the Swede, with Hancock and Pedersen in contention, particularly Nicky, who came on strong.
He did. At the end, Lindback rode really intelligently there, and he was right in that first corner, which is a real challenge. And they're going to have to get out there and do some track prep because it is chopping up big time in the first corner. But all credit to Antonio Lindback in as a wild card. He's having a big season. He just had a big result in his first ride.
Winners so far, Zagar, Holder, Doyle and Lindback. And it does also mean now that Nicky Pedersen is only 7 points behind Ty Woofenden in the race for the world title.
Yeah, what a ride that was, Nige, because he had a few moments there, there's no doubt about that, but He was hungry for success and he hung on out in front and he picked up a brilliant win. A very strong lineup that was. That was a race to be proud of to win. Right, once again, away we go. Hancock on the inside, Lindback and Pedersen. Look at the bite dig in there of Lindback. He really is having to hang on to the handlebars there big time. Once again we see it. It really is quite wild in the first corner. Look at the bike leaping around underneath him, but so much drive as he comes off the first corner. Hancock gets into second place, but rides a very tight line in turns 3 and 4. Look at that.
Great shots.
It's fabulous, but I tell you what, it's not always pleasant to be on board when it's like that, I can assure you. Nicky Pedersen running wide, that allows Hancock up into second place, but Hancock rides a tight, conservative line there. He's on the slick bit. And there's no doubt that Nicky Pedersen then takes advantage. But all credit to Lindback, that's a superstar for him.
Yep, 4 rides gone, and there is track work going on as we expected. There's plenty of dirt on the track now because of the dry material that they put down earlier on. Good ride from Antonio Lindback. And our man in the pits tonight is Chris Louis, who has some reaction for us.
Chris, it's all about track conditions out there. The track is cutting up on the first turn. You've got your mojo back, and it was a good time to make a start in E1.
I knew I had to make the start in E1. You know, we walked the track before, and that was the first corner was going to be a problem, and sure is. But yeah, hopefully they can fix it up because at the moment it's a bit of a lottery if you're going to get round there. So fingers crossed it gets better.
Can we expect to see the track conditions improving quite quickly, or is it going to be towards the end of the night? Perhaps we get a good racetrack.
Hopefully quickly for everyone's sake, but just that first corner, there's so much loose material on it where they've taken the wet stuff off and put the dry on, and it's just real beachy down there. So you can go in flat out and hope for the best, or go in there a bit easier and just get round. But yeah, making starts will be a lot easier.
Great start to your night's racing, well done.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, looked really quick, didn't he?
Yeah, and as I say, I watched practice yesterday night, and his bike is fast. I'm really fast, and he's been making starts. They have actually moved quite a lot of material in the first corner. Phil Morris, I must just give Phil Morris a quick mention. Race director, new race director, he's had a tough time. He has worked his fingers to the bone today.
Chris Louis down in the pits with Jason Doyle.
Jason, coming off gate 4 in your first race early on with the track conditions, you must have been so pleased with that race win.
Yeah, that's it. This meeting, I'm just going to try to bank the points, which I haven't done in the past. So yeah, going off gate 4 in heat 1 was my first heat was a little bit difficult, but yeah, it worked out.
A couple of times this season so far in the series you've had problems with decisions from referees. You haven't always agreed with them, obviously, but that's not affecting your racing out there at all. You're still going to give it 100%.
Yeah, that's it. That's in the past now, so we move on. I've learned a little bit from this series, and hopefully I can just bank the points tonight. We'll see what happens over the next couple of rounds.
It's so tight in the series points at the moment. Your focus, is it on the top 8, or are you still going for a podium right now?
No, definitely. I've set goals. Firstly, it's going to be top 8. I'd like to be coming back in the series next year. So, yeah, if I make top 8, that'll be a massive goal, but anything's possible.
Thanks, Jason.
Thank you.
Do you know, I like Jason Doyle. I think he's a very honest rider. I like the way he's committed to the sport now, and I see no reason at all that he can't make the top 8. He's made a couple of little mistakes where he's been a bit hasty, and he's been penalised for it, but I suggest there in that interview with Chris, he was giving us a little bit of an idea. He wants to bank the points, no rash moves, because points make prizes, and the top 8 is what it's all about for Jason.
Certainly is. Here we go then, heat number 5 coming up. They are doing quite a bit of work on that first turn just to try and sort the inside out, if you like. There's not so many problems when they go around the outside of the track, but extensive track. This is more than a normal grading break, and much needed, Cal.
It was much needed. Riders were really having to hang on, and it was wild, and the bucking bronco there we saw with Antonio Lindback. But yeah, they have got great equipment here, and they have a super affinity with the track. They understand it well, and I'm sure if it's possible they will get a much better racing surface for riders in the next batch of races. That man there, I did mention him briefly just before the interviews, but Phil Morris, I've got to say, he's done the hard yards today because all the covers had to come off, and he was involved with that throughout, and he's been here since early this morning, and he has really gone for it to make sure this meeting has started.
Certainly has. He was even helping get the covers off.
Exactly, he was working, so he'll sleep well this evening, won't he?
Oh, just a little bit, yeah, very much so. So the riders will be pushing off very soon. Obviously, we hope that this track work that is going on now with this magnificent equipment they've got here at Malila will do the trick, and that the boys will be a little bit more comfortable going into that first turn.
Well, Peter Kilderman will definitely be hoping it's a bit better because his first ride, he looked very uncomfortable. And when I talk about technique, Peter Kilderman is one you could highlight because he has a strange one. He sits in the bike a lot and is very aggressive. And when the track's really tricky like this, that's not always the best way to ride. Sometimes you need to get out of the seat, move your body weight forward. He doesn't do that, and he found it very difficult in the first race. So he'll be hoping very much that this track preparation will help him out.
Yeah, track prep going well here then. So this is the halfway stage of the World Championship for 2015. And it does mean after a second for Nicky and a third for Ty that Ty's lead is down to 8 points. I said 7 earlier. I must use a calculator in future. Ty Woffinden 8 points up on Nicky Pedersen, with Greg Hancock on 50 now. Niels Christian Iversen on 45. It looks like does it look like a straight shootout between Ty and Nicky from here, Kelvin, or is Greg still in the mix?
I think all four are, because there's an awful lot of points available. As you say, it's only the halfway point, so there's plenty of racing to come. Injuries will play their part, of course. I think if Woffinden stays fit, I do believe he'll be a hard man to peg back. But got to say that, you know, riders like Hancock and Nicky Pedersen, when it's mathematically possible, they'll keep charging, won't they? They're true potentials. And this man, you know, like last week, I've got to say, Dagerpils has been kind to him, but he rode well. And I think he probably felt a bit disappointed the meeting got rained off in the end. He had the inside gate, which was working well for the semi-final, and who knows, he may well have picked up more points if they could have completed the meeting last week, but it wasn't.
I take your point, Kel, but the track was waterlogged, wasn't it? So.
Oh, absolutely, it had to. There was a right decision, absolutely. But as I say, he was riding well, and he is riding well, and he's fit and prepared, and Woffinden knows that, and he knows he's got to keep on his toes, because any weaknesses shown, Pedersen will be ready to pounce.
Here we go then, heat number 5 is coming up. Every rider has had one outing so far. They have done a lot of track work, extra long grading break, particularly focusing on the first and second turn. Let's hope that it does the trick here in Malila tonight. It is still very foggy, misty, and certainly
muggy even.
Muggy as well, yeah. And they are expecting more heavy rain from around 11 o'clock to 12 o'clock tonight. So fingers crossed that that forecast is right. The forecasts that we've seen have been absolutely spot on today.
Yeah, they said it was going to stop raining at 6 o'clock, and it duly did, and that's enabled them to get the covers off and do plenty of track preparation, and we've got a Speedway meeting, so we've been very fortunate in that regard.
Riders preparing for heat number 5 then. Here we go, the second set of heats here at the G&B Arena in Malila. Heat number 5 coming up then. Peter Killerman off the inside, with Chris Holder going off gate 2, a winner first time out. Troy Batchelor gate 3 in white. Thomas H. Jonasson going off the outside in yellow. The race for the World Championship then down to 8 points between Ty Woffinden and Nicky Pedersen. Extensive track work has gone on during the gap between heats 4 and 5. Phil Morris, the race director, who has put so much hard work in today, overseeing that as well. It'll be interesting to see how the first and second turn is.
Yeah,
now.
It will be, because it was really tricky, wasn't it, in the first 4 races. Holder in gate 2 looked good out in front. Kilderman on the inside and Thomas H. Jonasson on the outside. They struggled. Batchelor found it demanding as well. But I think a good start is going to be really valuable tonight. If you can get yourself in front, you can choose and pick where you ride. So there's no doubt that that will help you enormously. Settling down for heat 5.
Here we go then. Heat number 5 it is. Green light is on and away from the start. Killerman's made a beauty. Chris Holder now in second. He's going to be around the outside. Thomas H. Jonasson putting a challenge in, but Holder holds the line as second spot and looks quicker as well. Although Killerman is always a hard rider to pass here. Peter Killerman has the lead. Here comes Holder on the inside.
Brilliant.
What a move! Chris Holder is a man right on top form.
Yeah, and I tell you what, in recent seasons he hasn't been doing that, but he came charging up the inside of Peter Kilderman there and got himself to the front. Thomas H. Jonasson back in third, Batchelor's out the back. Kilderman's pushing hard though, Nigel. running wide, but once again it's getting choppy immediately in the middle of the first and second corner. But Holder almost back to his best here now. It's a sweet move from the Aussie.
World champion in 2012, Chris Holder. That was the year they had the World Cup here, the Team World Cup here at Malila, and it's Chris Holder with the lead. Thomas H. Johnson's now back into third place under pressure from Bachelor, with Peter Killerman holding second spot. Chris Holder now, he's going to make it 2 wins out of 2. He's enjoying himself. Killerman gets second and Thomas H. Johnson was third. But what a sweet move from Chris Holder in heat number 5. He now is up to 47 Grand Prix points overall and really strengthening his position in the World Championship, looking for the top 4. Maybe even better in 2015.
Yeah, brilliant ride from Chris Holder. Didn't make the start, but he got the better there of Peter Kilderman, who pulled a locker in turns 3 and 4, but he got up the inside, and his bike was fast yesterday, and it's fast when it really matters as well. First 2 rides, unbeaten, great start.
Yeah, very much so, superb stuff. Chris Holder, a maximum man now, 6 points out of a possible 6. And, well, he's going to take some stopping tonight, you feel. He's comfortable, he's really enjoying riding the bike, and although in his interview during the interval he did say that conditions were a little bit tricky in that first and second turn, he's making light work of it so far.
Looks good, having a chat with the world champion Greg Hancock. Of course, they're in the same team, parked next to each other. Plenty of support for him. Here's why. Bit of movement initially for Bachelor, penalises himself. Good decision not to pull it back. Kilderman hits the front initially. Holder then gets into second place. Still choppy in that first corner, people. You have got to have your wits about you. Kilderman hits the front. Just in the middle of the turn there. Really is quite rough indeed. Kilderman pulls a locker in turns 3 and 4, opening lap. Holder's in the right place. Bike digs in. Charges to the front. That's a great move from him. The sort of move from Holder we haven't seen for some time. And all of a sudden he's overtaking. That real confidence level is building week on week, and at this level you need confidence, and this move there just locks up too hard there, Kilderman. Conditions just catching him out, but the Australian out in front, 6 points to his name, Nigel. He will be delighted with that.
Peloton rider here in Sweden, Chris Holder. Started his professional career with the Isle of Wight Islanders in the UK.
Yeah, remember
all those years ago.
Yeah.
Was a Premier League 14 tournament winner with the Isle of Wight in 2007. And encouraging signs that there will be Speedway back on the island next year as well. Lovely place to go, particularly in the summer.
We have been out there a few times. We commentated on sidecars, Nigel, on the Isle of Wight, which was quite remarkable.
They were the days.
They were indeed.
Did a better job than we do on normal Speedway, to be fair. Heat number 6, here we go.
Brilliant.
I said it before everybody else did.
Yes.
Antonio Lindback goes off the inside in red. Mats Janowski goes off gate 2 in blue. Chris Harris gate 3 white. Michael Jebsen Jensen off the outside. Just a quick heads up, the top 2 in the world, Wolfenden and Pedersen, inside and outside, heat number 8. A couple of races tied.
Yeah, looking forward to it. But Janowski, who was second in his opening ride, he's got Lindback on the inside, who was really impressive. So Lindback could be a major danger to the Polish rider here.
Here we go, heat number 6 of the Swedish Grand Prix. Janowski's made a beauty off gate number 2, but Lindback is there. Now, which way will Janowski switch up the inside? That's a lovely move from the pole! That's why they call him Magic, but Lindback's coming back for more as well, coming out of turn 4. Janowski holds the line superbly. Antonio Lindback is second, and now Jebsen Jensen comes up the inside of Chris Harris for third place.
Yeah, Jebsen Jensen around the inside. Great stuff from Janowski. Rode too conservatively in his opening ride and paid the penalty, slipped back to second place. This time he's out in front. Great ride from him. Lindback coming on strong in second place. Track's getting a little bit better. Riders really giving it everything. Jebsen Jensen in third, but Janowski looking up. Lindback coming at him. Could be a good last lap here.
Yeah, last lap it is. Mid-track Janowski. Now he's gone wide. Will Lindback try the inside run and return the compliment here? Now he's going to go high and wide into turns 3 and 4. But Janowski has held a clever line. Great win.
Yeah.
Mats Janowski of Poland. Brilliant stuff from him. Antonio Lindback chased every step of the way. And Michael Jebsen Jensen was third. And remember, this is a meeting which most definitely would not have been on without track covers that they brought in from Vetlanda, and without the equipment and without the dry shale and the sterling work of the Grand Prix race director, Phil Morris. It's an amazing effort that we're actually seeing Speedway tonight.
It is, and it's really tough Speedway too. You've got to have your wits about you. You've got to be completely committed, and Janowski was there, Nigel. That was a super ride.
Janowski, Lindback, Jebsen Jensen and Harris. It was a fine fine move early on, and Lindback gave it absolutely everything, didn't he? It's now 5 points each for Janowski and Lindback. They're just behind Chris Holder, who is a maximum man tonight, and good speedway there in heat number 6. The track, touch wood here, Kelv, is certainly settling down in that first and second turn.
A little bit. I think they'd like it a bit better, but it's still challenging. It's a bit rough, but Lindback makes a good start. Great move from Janowski to get the better of him. The question that Lindback is in good form, you know, he's riding well this year. Just momentarily I thought Harris might be able to get himself there into the big points, but he gets relegated to the back. Lindback rides strongly in second place, keeping Janowski right up to his work. And there was a good battle out in front. I thought Lindback, well, there was no doubt about it, Lindback was a danger throughout all the 4 laps for Janowski. But you were right, Nige. Out of the last corner, an intelligent move to block Lindback as they came towards the checkered flag. Respect between the 2 riders. And yes, I'm pleased. We've got a decent speedway meeting.
Mats Janowski is part of the new generation of riders that surely are going to be in the World Championship for years to come.
Yeah.
The likes of Ty Woofenden, Mats Janowski, Chris Holder. There's other riders that aren't in this competition that maybe could come in. Darcy Ward, Emil Saifutinov.
They're 2 outstanding riders, of course. And you've got Ty Woofenden, who's still a youngster.
Forgot about him.
Yeah, championship leader, Nigel.
Oh yeah, that's him, yeah. Here we go. Off the inside, Christoph Kasperzak in red. Greg Hancock goes off gate 2 in blue. Andreas Jonsson gate 3 in white. And Niels Christian Iversen going off the outside in yellow. Greg Hancock, by the way, just to clarify, his Kevlars, they're not a replica of Wembley 81. They appear to be a replica of Los Angeles 82, won by Bruce Penhall. Los Angeles 82 in the Coliseum 1982, when Bruce Penhall won the world title after that, coming together with Kenny Carter.
Well, what a night that was, and he then went into, he retired, didn't he, immediately afterwards, and went into...
Cost Craigly the league title.
Oh, well, you know, you've got a long memory. A bitter man. Anyway, settling down, Hancock, he's coming out of gate 2.
Here we go, heats number 7 it is, and Hancock has made a lovely start. Now watch out for the man in yellow sweeping around the outside, Niels Christian Iversen. He's going to put pressure on Hancock because he's going so wide in that bottom turn. Hancock's gone wide. Iversen is going to try the inside run with Jonsson third, and Kasperzak yet again trailing at the back. But Iversen tries the inside run, and good speedway down the back straight once again.
Yeah, the front 2 are having a real good battle. Jonsson's tailed off in third, and Kasperzak, his nightmare continues. He's out of it. So Hancock, who rode steadily in his opening ride, looks better here. It's still choppy, it's still bumpy, but the world champion is out in front in Bruce Penhall's suit from 1982, looking very good indeed. Iversen giving chase, and Andreas Jonsson back in third, but Hancock's got a great technique, you know. He rides these sort of conditions really nicely.
Yeah, showing all his experience here. Greg Hancock into turns 3 and 4. Here we go. Hancock is now going to move on to 4 points from 2 rides. Lovely ride from Hancock, made a great start, and Iversen really came on strong in the early stages there, Niels Christian Iversen, but that was a fantastic ride from Greg Hancock of the USA. Peter Turner rider here in Sweden.
Yes.
Rides in Poland as well. Doesn't ride in the UK these days. The schedule doesn't suit him at this particular stage of his career. But he was a great servant to British Speedway for many years, Greg Hancock. And that's a fantastic ride from him. 4 points he moves on to now. Here's the result. Hancock the winner, Iversen was second, Jonsson was third, and Christoph Kasperzak again at the back. His confidence crisis continues as Hancock moves up the board to 4 points level with Niels Christian Iversen.
Yeah, good ride from Greg. He had a disappointing opening ride, but they've made a few tweaks. He makes his customary brilliant start, and he rides nicely out in front, controls the race, coming under pressure from Niels Christian Iversen, no doubt about that. Did we see the first corner? There's a couple of bumps in that first corner that really you have to have good control. Iversen charging on the outside, but Greg this time allows the bike to run wider, and that pays dividends. He rode too narrow and too tight in his opening race and got past. This time he's aware, he's moved his racing line, and it works out for him. Once again from the tapes, Iversen coming sweeping from the outside. I thought maybe he might be able to get there, but Hancock's a wily old man. He's a very experienced rider. You don't win 3 world championships for being a bit dopey, do you? You've got to have your wits about you. A bit bumpy going over the start and finish line, but the champion from last year moving nicely on to 4 points, and he's pleased about it.
Quite right too. Lovely ride it was. And
solid start from him.
Yep. had a real go, and this is a stunning lineup now, isn't it? We've got the top two in the World Championship off the inside and the outside here. Woofenden, who won here in Malila last year with a 17-point haul, and that really did put him in a great position in the World Championship. He got injured, badly injured, riding for Wolverhampton at Eastbourne in the Elite League in the UK. Serious knuckle damage, I do recall, that hampered his world title bid at Woofenden last year.
Didn't help, did it?
No, but that's taking nothing away from Greg Hancock either. There's nothing to say Woofenden would have won it. He's off the inside in red with Jason Doyle gate 2 in blue, Matti Zagar gate 3 in white, and Nicky Pedersen off the outside in yellow. 2 race winners.
Yeah, brilliant race. Woofenden under pressure. He's going to have to come up with a big ride on the inside. Doyle brilliant in his opening ride, as was Zagar. Very committed, looked really up for the job. Pedersen just gently rolling into gate 4. He's not happy with Zagar. Is the start marshal going to move him? No, they leave him where he is. Could be an interesting run to the first corner. Woofenden needs a big start on the inside.
Here we go then, this is heat number 8. After this one, everybody will have completed 2 rides, and it's a great start from Woofenden. Pedersen is going to go wide here. Is Woofenden going to do the same? Pedersen's got the drive! And Woofenden just about hangs on, but this is going to be a big move for Pedersen now. Pedersen is going to go wide. Now he's going to try the inside run on Woofenden. Woofenden has the lead. Pedersen is second. Third is Zagar, and Jason Doyle is in the back right now.
Yeah, tough first corner. Pedersen was threatening, wasn't he? But Woofenden just held his head. He kept his composure. He now runs a bit wider coming off turn 4, and he's got to the front. Zagar coming on strong. Pedersen's now really under threat from Zagar in 3rd place. Doyle's out the back. Tough Speedway once again. Woofenden beginning to pull away. Pedersen is under pressure. Zagar, keep your eyes on Zagar. He could be a big threat, but Woofenden responding nicely.
Yeah, Woofenden's got a lot of speed here on his Peter Jones engine, and Zagar's trying the inside run down the back straight. Oh, there's history between these two boys as well, remember.
There is.
Nicky holding an intelligent ride, though. He's gone the inside run. The lead and the victory is with Woofenden. Pedersen holds second, and he had to go defensive there in the end to block out the challenge of Matti Zagar, and third was Jason Doyle at the back, and it's a good win for Ty Woofenden of Great Britain.
That was, he needed it, and he came good when he was under a lot of pressure. A big fist pump for him down the back straight. Knew he needed it, knew he needed to take advantage of the inside gate. He's got another gate 4 later on, not always ideal here in Malila, but what a way to bounce back. Big pressure early on, pulls off a good win.
Restores his lead in the World Championship to 9 points over Pedersen with that win. Zagar was third and Doyle at the back. You get the feeling track is just getting better and better as the evening goes on. We'll be back with heat number 9 here in Malila in a few moments' time.
Yeah, super ride from the former world champion, the championship leader, team working well, and there's no question that they're pumped with that ride. See it on the inside, a little bit scruffy as he gets to the first corner, but Ty then really rides a nice ride, middle of the corner, Woofenden. Here's the danger man. Pedersen coming on strong down the back straight. I thought he might be able to do a switchback coming out of turn 4 and get up the inside of Woofenden and steal the lead away. But the championship leader just has enough speed. He then begins to pull away. It is tough, I tell you what, it's not pretty at times. It really is very rough in places. Zagar there, coming up the inside of Pedersen, and Pedersen is aware of it, rides a very defensive line and hangs on to 2nd place. But Woofenden, he'll be much happier with that, quite clearly. Look how bumpy it is as they finish the race there with the back wheel bouncing off the track in several places. But 4 points, he'll be pleased with that, but he knew the pressure was on with the inside gate, needed to make it work, and picked up 3 points, needed them.
Now, Chris Louis is down in the pits talking to Greg Hancock now.
Greg, a tentative first ride, but a fantastic race win in Heat 7. You came under a lot of pressure from Niels Christian Eversen.
Yeah, you can say that. The first ride there, everybody could see the track was a little choppy there in the first corner, so I probably rode a little over safe there just to be sure. But yeah, now they've changed it. It's a little better, and got stuck in for the second one.
It's testament to race director Phil Morris and the track staff here that we've actually got a track to race on at all.
Yeah, they did a great job. Hats off to these guys, that the way they covered the track, and the forecast was so bad every day, and then suddenly it just changed. So finally we got a little bit of luck.
Just confirm for us, the race suit is a tribute to Bruce Pennell's Coliseum win in 1982.
Oh, you got it. This is there's a few things we've been doing over the year, and a couple of the ideas we had was one like this, and this is a suit from around this 82 period there when he was champ, and always liked it, so why not?
Thanks, Greg.
You got it. Thanks, BP.
Yeah, go Brucey P. He was some rider in his day, of course, as is Greg Hancock, a genuine legend of the sport, and his longevity itself is a remarkable feat. And he's still riding at the top of his game, Nigel. 45 years old, rides like a teenager.
He does, and I think that's the way he adopts life as well. The way he leads his life, he's healthy, he's happy, and you know, he's a very positive person, and that certainly helps to succeed, I think. And still enjoying his Speedway for sure. Still believes he can win races, and the proof is in the pudding. He's just won a race at Grand Prix level. Super stuff. Now, Sweden's Andreas Jonsson is with our man Chris Louis.
Andreas, Malila, a track you know very well, but conditions a little bit different tonight.
A little bit different, you know, slightly. Yeah, it is difficult out there, you know, especially the first heats. It's getting better and better, the track, but you know, it's raceable.
Gate 1 looks like a slight advantage so far tonight. You can command the first turn, but you've got to use the ruts wisely and not make mistakes through them.
Yeah, I haven't been there yet, so I've been, you know, for 2 and 3, but yeah, it looks like Gate 1 is pretty good, and Gate 4 haven't been too bad either, you know, it looks all right. I'm from 4 the next one, so hopefully I can make it a flying start.
Just outside the top 8, you've got local support here, so you've got to be looking for moving up the standings today.
Yeah, I can't ask for more, you know, the fans are here to cheering me on, and it feels really nice. I'm really happy about it. Just hopefully I can get some more points, you know, and get the bike work a little bit faster.
Thanks, AJ.
Thank you.
Yeah, he needs to just up his game a little bit, doesn't he? He has the track record here, rode here for a number of seasons, of course.
9 years, I do believe, Kel.
There you are, so he should know it inside out, really.
Yep.
But he wouldn't have ridden it quite like this on that many occasions, but he's got the inside gate coming up.
Now, let's get the thoughts of Ty Woofenden with Chris.
Ty, race winner last time out, and you won the drag race down the back straight.
Yeah, you know, the track's a little bit tricky in the first heat, and probably had the bike overgeared a little bit too much, so we made some changes and felt a lot better. I was getting a lot smoother ride, but you know, to even get this meeting on today with the amount of rain we had this morning and on all day, it's a feat in itself.
And more importantly, the opposition that you beat, Nicky Pedersen, just pulling 1 point back out on him.
Yeah, so you know, I think he gained one in the first race and we got it back now, so it'll probably be like that for the rest of the year.
How are track conditions settling down? Obviously turns 1 and 2 are the trickiest, but is it settling down now?
It is tricky, but you know, it's tricky for everybody, so you just got to make the best of it and go out there and score as many points as possible.
Good stuff, well done.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Good ride, wasn't it?
It was a nice ride, and it is bumpy coming into the first corner. That's right, it's quite a nasty sort of bump as they go over the start and finish line. And I do believe it's the sort of conditions where you've just got to be really committed. 9 points still the gap between the top 2, with Hancock hanging in there on 53, and Holder is a rider that really is on a march, isn't he? He's going the right way, and he's unbeaten so far. Everson on 47 points as well. So, you know, Niels Christian Everson and Chris Holder, you could look at 2 riders there that are coming on strong and looking for good form. It wouldn't surprise me at all if Holder and Everson were to win more Grand Prix.
Well, heat number 9 coming up then. Chris Holder, the 2012 world champion. 2 wins out of 2 so far. And we have Michael Jepsen Jensen here in red. We have Christoph Kasperzak going off the outside. I can't really put my finger on it. It'd be interesting to hear from KK as to what exactly is going on here.
I don't think he'll tell you at the moment. I don't mean that as a joke, really. He almost needs like a break. Almost like he needs to get away from it, because when you ride like that and he's a class act, it just seems wrong. So maybe they need to have a real good look at where they're going, because at the moment he just doesn't seem to be in the game at all.
Okay, heat number 9 it is. No points again for KK. Didn't score in Latvia last week as well. We have back-to-back GPs here after being in Daugavpils last weekend and Malila tonight. So here we go. Heat number 9 is coming up. So heat number 9 it is, and Michael Jepsen Jensen going off the inside in red, a home favourite here in Dakar, Malila. Nicky Pedersen goes off gate number 2 in blue, his teammate here for Malila. Gate 3 in white is Chris Holder, and going off the outside is Christoph Kasperzak, the man who is yet to score, didn't score a week ago in Latvia either. No. So really it's a major problem for him.
It's desperate times for KK, and we were just chatting about it. I I don't know, maybe a break from the sport might do him some good, because at the moment he's just going through the motions. A new bike for Jepsen Jensen on the inside, clean one, so he'll be hoping that works a treat. Interesting contest in gates 2 and 3 here. Pedersen, who hasn't won a race so far, but battling hard. Holder unbeaten. Gate 3 isn't always the best, but he's in great form and he's passing people, and clearly his confidence is high, so good match-up that.
Yep, good race in prospect here. This is heat number 9 of the Swedish FIM Speedway Grand Prix. Jepsen Jensen has made a good one, and now Kasper Zak is going to try and go around the outside. Pedersen up the inside. Now there's going to be a battle on between Jepsen Jensen and Pedersen, the two Dakar riders. And now here comes Kasper Zak around the outside, trying to put the challenge on Pedersen, who gets closer to Jepsen Jensen. And the man who's unbeaten so far, Holder, is now challenging Kasper Zak for third.
Yeah, Holder's got Kasper Zak. Good start from Jepsen Jensen on his second bike off the inside gate. He runs wide, and Pedersen's in second place, hanging on, and Holder now begin to settle in third place. Kasper Zak once again is tailed off and is giving up the ghost. Really, as I said before, I wonder whether it's worth him being here. Jepsen Jensen on the outside with Pedersen coming on strong. It's tight. Jepsen Jensen cannot afford to make a mistake.
Well, he's gone wide. Does that allow some room for Pedersen, who's right up his back wheel now? This is going to be a close one. Jepsen Jensen locks up, and that is a good move from Jepsen Jensen to block the challenge of Nicky Pedersen, with Chris Holder beaten for the first time tonight into third place. And Christoph Kasper Zak once again does not finish a race. Another big fat zero for KK. Really is a torrid time for the pole, because he's a hugely talented speedway rider.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Michael Jepsen Jensen with a fine victory. Pedersen was all over him, really giving it everything. Good ride from Jepsen Jensen. It had to be to beat Pedersen like he did. Jepsen Jensen from Pedersen from Chris Holder in third. And it means now that after 3 rides for those guys, Chris Holder's on 7, Nicky Pedersen is on 6 points now, and Nicky has got 3 second places under his belt.
Consistent, not quite managing to get to the front yet, Pedersen, but he's building points. Great bounce back from Jepsen Jensen, who is outside the top 8 and wants to be in it. And this is the reason he wins the race, really. He makes a great start. The inside gate is working well. He rides nicely, he rides wide. He leaves the opportunity for Pedersen to get up the inside. And late on in the race, he rides a defensive line to make sure he seals the 3 points. Kasper Zak initially shows on the outside, and I think a pretty confident one would have been amongst the points in this race, but he's got 0 confidence and he fails to finish again. Holder just gets out battled. Gate 3 is a problem. Can't always get a good run to the first corner, and the man who was unbeaten coming into this race just drops a couple of points, but 7 from 3 is there's nothing to worry about too much. But Jepsen Jensen, a fine ride, changed the equipment, hits the front, picks up a nice win.
Yep, good ride indeed then from Michael Jepsen Jensen. Super ride as we move on to heat number 10. And Michael now on to 4 points from 3 rides. It is getting more and more murky around this G&B arena, with more rain threatening around 11 to 12 o'clock tonight. This delayed Grand Prix, but it is a fantastic effort to get this meeting on.
Yes.
Really is superb.
I can't emphasise that enough. We can't, because this afternoon, when I was looking out of the hotel window, I'm just thinking, no way. It was raining cats and dogs, and the covers have come to the rescue. Great work, great understanding of the track conditions, great equipment, and we've got a Grand Prix.
Yep, rain stopped around 6 o'clock. That enabled them to get the covers off and get to work on the track. And here we go with heat number 10. Matty Zagar off the inside in red, Troy Batchelor gate 2 in blue. Greg Hancock goes off gate 3 in white, and going off the outside in yellow is Chris Harris. Here we go, heat number 10. Can Hancock make it? 2 wins on the spin here, but Zagar in red has made a good start from the inside. And now here comes Hancock in white around the outside. Batchelor's still in the mix, Harris having a go as well. Now Hancock is going to try the outside run. Now he's going to try the switch, because Zagar has gone wide. Hancock's trying the inside, and look how close they were coming out of that turn. But Zagar has the lead here, the Slovenian. He's under pressure from Hancock.
Yeah, he is. Zagar going well out in front. Hancock on the inside, riding nicely. Harris is giving chase, but he's just been dropped a little bit there. He got the better of Batchelor. Zagar, though, what an effort from him. Really coming on to the world champion. Brilliant stuff from him. Really good battle out in front. got to say, Hancock once again riding a really crafty line and just secures his position out in front.
Great move.
Yeah, great stuff. Oh, Mike leaping about underneath him.
Well, it was a stunning move from Greg Hancock to charge up the inside of Matty Zagar and pick him off superbly. Greg Hancock continues his winning form. 2 wins on the bounce, and that was done the hard way. He's passed Matty Zagar in fine style. Great ride from Greg Hancock.
Yeah, the world champion still got it. No question
Just a
about
bit.
that. Got the hunger. Brilliant stuff from him. Zagar there, just not able to keep him at bay. Still hanging on in second place. Harris doing overtime in third place, but it's a tough night for the Brit. But what can you say about Hancock? Brilliant speedway from him once again.
Certainly was. Stunning stuff from Hancock. He's done it the hard way there with a win from Matty Zagar in second place, and third was Chris Harris with Troy Batchelor at the back. So Hancock and Holder lead the GP now on 7 points apiece. And Hancock definitely doing it the tricky way there, showing lots of determination.
Yeah, and skill as well. You know, we'll see it again. Initially on the inside, Zagar makes a great start. Hancock coming out of gate 3, which proved tough for Holder in the previous race. Batchelor's there in third. Down the back straight, Zagar hits the front. Once again away from the tapes. It's about Zagar, but the race is about the move that Hancock puts on Zagar. It's a classy move, and you've got to say that it's out of the top drawer. Here he comes. Zagar just vulnerable, can't resist that nice move, sweet move, up the inside, clean pass, really is textbook stuff from him. Zagar has no answer. World champion out in front, won his last 2 rides.
And he did it on the first and second turn, although it was a little bit choppy in the next lap. I would suggest, Kelvin, he wouldn't have tried that in the opening 4 heats, the way the track was.
No way. But more confidence in track conditions. Zagar there, he's having a good night. 6 points is no mean feat. It's a difficult racetrack out there this evening. You've got to have all your faculties working. There's no doubt about that. But Hancock has, after a disappointing opening ride, he's come up with 2 really nice rides.
Certainly has. Class act, and here we have the wild card, Antonio Limbach in yellow. Heat number 11 it is. It's Jason Doyle going off the inside in red, looking to bounce back after his last race disappointment. Thomas H. Jonasson, gate 2 in blue. Niels Christian Iversen looking to build on his 4 points off gate 3 in white. And off the outside in yellow, Antonio Limbach. This isn't the only speedway in this region today, by the way. Earlier today there was a under-19 speedway, wasn't there, at Vastavik?
Vastavik. We went there for lunch and we went by the track. We could hear them roaring round. Unfortunately, the under-21 meeting at 2 o'clock got rained off. But the under-19's got some racing in, and some good racing by all accounts. They're seeing some good stuff here also. Here we go.
Yep, heat number 11 it is then. Tape tries, can Doyle get there from the inside gate? And Niels Christian Iversen is trying the inside from gate number 3 now. The man at the back is Lindback, but the speed down the back straight with Jonasson and Iversen. Doyle has the lead now. Jason Doyle in his first year as a Grand Prix rider has that lead. Iversen now under pressure from Jonasson. Good battle for second place developing now.
There is, and Iversen responds. He gets a bit more grip going round turns 1 and 2 second time. Jason Doyle is having a really good night. He's out in front. He'll be reminding the team here that maybe you ought to use me a little bit more often because I can get round here. He's looking good out in front. Iversen having a real good battle with Thomas H. Jonasson. Thomas H. Jonasson in third place. Chopping to the inside. Limbach, unfortunately for him, is out the back. But a big battle for second and third.
Yep, into the last lap we go. Jason Doyle with that lead, and Iversen has lost control of the bike. But has Jonasson got enough to get the better of him? No, Iversen closes the door. That is a great move to go on the inside line in turns 3 and 4. It worked for Nicky Pedersen a little bit earlier, just to block the move of the man just behind him. Iversen has done exactly the same there. But what a ride from Jason Doyle in red. Moves him on to 6 points. That is a big, big ride from him.
Yeah, all credit to him. You know, he's made a couple of rash moves in a couple of Grand Prix where he's got excluded. But tonight he looks really level-headed. He's enjoying the conditions, he's enjoying the challenge of the conditions, and he's making light of it. He's enjoying himself, and that race win was dominant. Brilliant ride from Doyle.
Certainly was. Doyle, Iversen, Jonasson, the finishing order there. And overall now, it means that Doyle moves on to 6, Iversen's on 6. The race for the top 8 is very much on here in Malila tonight after 11 of the 23 heats. 20 heats to decide who qualifies for the semi-finals. We've had 11 of those.
We have indeed, and we'll see this race again. The inside gate is an advantage, and Doyle takes full advantage of that fact because he came from there. He's hit the front. What a battle it was between Iversen and Thomas H. Jonasson. Iversen had a lot of second places a week ago. It's like deja vu. He's doing the same again this evening. He's really having to work overtime, but he's picking up valuable points. And it was a tough battle between the two Scandinavians throughout the 4 laps. Antonio Lindback on the outside there has a hard time. The bike leaping about in the first corner, and he can't land a blow. But as I say, that was tough speedway between Iversen out of control there. Does remarkably well to gather himself and hang on to second place. All credit to him. And credit to Thomas H. Jonasson. He played his part, but Doyle out in front. 3 points to his name. Well, he's looking good.
Yeah, fine ride from Jason Doyle. Had a quiet chat with him earlier. He was in the same hotel, and he's telling me how he's got a big meeting in Poland tomorrow as well. He was keen to see this meeting go on, but at the time we were having our chat, it was absolutely pouring down outside.
It's looking unlikely.
Well, we just never thought that we'd see a Speedway meeting tonight.
No, I must say it was all about when we were going to fly home on Monday and what the, all the logistics of a rain off tonight, but fair play, we're racing.
Yep, heat number 12, Peter Killerman goes off the inside in red, Ty Wolfen in gate 2 in blue. He has 4 points to his name with Janowski, who's in fantastic form, gate 3 in white. And Andreas Jonsson goes off the outside in yellow. I fancy this could be a good race.
Yeah, you could well be right. And Jonsson, who's been battling hard, he looks for a bit more speed this time. Janowski rode nicely to hit the front down the back straight in his second ride. And Ty Woofenden was much more like his old self by winning in fine style the second time. Kilderman will be a threat also on the inside, Nigel.
Yep, heat number 12 it is then. Here we go. It's a super start from Woofenden off gate number 2. Now what can Janowski do? Woofenden has the lead and he's pulling clear now. Janowski comes through into second place, and now Janowski will challenge Woofenden. Now Killerman has gone down. Just run out of room, had to get off the bike in that bottom turn.
Yeah, will he get the bike up? Craig Ackroyd, the referee. Will he put the red lights on? No, I do believe.
He has. Just as Janowski clears the track.
No, it's Kilderman.
Sorry,
Kilderman, he fell off. And there was no need for the red light there.
No
need for the red light there, and the crowd are whistling.
The crowd aren't happy. Okay. Kilderman had cleared the track.
I tell you, he won't be happy as well will be Ty Woofenden. He was away.
Got to do it all again, and it will be restarted with Killerman disqualified. Yeah, it just seems as though Killerman just ran out of room, Kelvin, didn't he? Well, so he's had to get off there.
No, he just slips off the bike, Nige, in truth. He just trusting the grip in the back tyre. He's hanging off the side of the bike and he lets go. It is tight, but there's no contact. It'll be an easy decision, but what's disappointing, he could have got off the track. Well, he was off the track, and the red lights came on possibly slightly prematurely there.
Craig Ackroyd, our referee, playing it cautiously, I think it's fair to say there.
Yes,
putting the red lights on.
He didn't, in the defence of the referee, he didn't rush off the track, but he was clear of the track by the time they came down the back straight, so Woofenden will be a little frustrated about that.
Gives Janowski another chance, doesn't it?
It does indeed, and Jonsson, of course, just slips off the bike there. He made a mistake there, in actual fact, when he got passed earlier on by Chris Holder, pulled a big locker going in this very same corner. No contact, just hanging off the side of the bike. And I think it's a little flaw in his technique, in truth.
Okay.
Because he sits in the bike and he's a little bit reliant on just the back tyre keeping him upright. Woofenden, cool, calm, collected. He'll have to do it again.
First restart of the night required here in Malila.
Just to add to that, though, about the restart, no rider on the inside. Kilderman came out of gate 1. That will make life a little bit easier for the World Championship leader.
He made a great start as well, didn't he, to be fair?
He likes his place.
Yeah.
I sensed it. He was looking forward to tonight, and he wants to bounce back after possibly a slightly below par meeting last weekend. So hasn't been that busy lately, and I think he needs a few laps.
Yeah, he's had 2 weeks off the Swedish League. Last Tuesday was reserved for rain-offs. His team, Vetlanda, weren't involved. Didn't have a meeting in Poland, and so really, since Cardiff, really, Kelv, Woofenden has been very quiet, hasn't he?
Exactly, and I think he's a little rusty, and this is a sort of night where it should suit him, and if he can just get this one out of the way, get the points in the bag, then he's looking all set for a good place in the semi-finals.
He's got his fitness coach, Kirk Gibbons, here as well.
Nice guy.
First time he's been to a Grand Prix abroad, Kirk Gibbons, based in Leicester. and works hard with this man.
Yeah, and it pays dividends. Fitness is an integral part of being a top sportsman, and fit body, fit mind, and that works a treat. And Woofenden is very much wrapped up in that philosophy. He's in great shape and he's determined to win a second world title. This is the sort of meeting he relishes. Kirk there in the background, part of the crew, enjoying his weekend.
Yeah, worked him hard during the winter at the gym in Derby. Heat number 12 is coming up.
When he say worked him hard, I think that might be an understatement.
Yeah.
I think it was brutal training.
Yep, 12 it is then, with 3 riders only, Woofenden, Janowski and Jonsson. It's Killerman, the man who fell and is disqualified for being the primary cause of the stoppage. And heat number 12 coming up. After this race, every rider will have completed 3 rides in this Swedish Grand Prix. And the action, fast and furious as a speedway track. It is a beautifully shaped circuit, Colvin.
Yeah, it's ideal, and it's highly rated amongst the riders as well. Most of them really enjoy coming here, and we enjoy coming here because we see such super speedway, and even with the conditions and the weather that's thrown at the track today, the racing is improving.
Certainly is. Heat number 12 coming up then. 3 riders only. At Malila, the home of Dakarna in the Swedish League. Most of the field tonight ride in Sweden on a regular basis. There's 4 or 5 that don't. And heat number 12 coming up. Surprised Janowski hasn't got a Swedish League place.
Well, he's good enough. I think it's
just a little bit.
It's a choice.
Yeah,
it's definitely a choice. He joined the Pool Pirates at the last minute in the winter time, and I think if he hadn't have done, I'm quite sure he would be riding in Swedish League right now. But
Woffen didn't ride in Sweden the year he won the world title, did he?
I think
did the 2 leagues.
Some riders prefer to just do 2 leagues. They feel that 3 leagues, they just overextends them. Woofenden quite clearly enjoys riding in 2 leagues, and then right now he's in Poland and Sweden, just down the road in actual fact at Vetlanda.
Yes, and with Wrocław in Poland, Woofenden off gate number 2 in blue, Mads Janowski gate 3 in white. Going off the outside is Andreas Jonsson in yellow. A challenge for Woofenden then to do it all again.
Yeah, never easy, and quite often we see the rider that hits the front with a rerun, he's the one that loses out, but Woofenden is well, he's the real deal, isn't he? He'll have the composure, but there's a major threat. There's no question that Janowski will put him under pressure if he can, and Andreas Jonsson is the track record holder here, so he can get round here quite sharply.
No question about that. Heat number 12 coming up then here. So we await the green light from Craig Ackroyd. Tape tries now. Has Woofenden got the start this time? Yes, he has. He's got a clear lead early on. Jonsson is going to try hard to come around the outside of Mads Janowski. Janowski holds the line, but Jonsson goes into turns 3 and 4 with a lot of speed here. Now Woofenden holds the line, has the lead, and Jonsson battling hard with Janowski for second. This is a good race here, Kelvin.
It is. Andreas Jonsson near enough disappeared to Denmark there, you know. Brilliant stuff from him down the back straight to get the better of Janowski. Yeah, there's no question that Jonsson's giving it absolutely everything with this big blast around the outside. Woofenden brilliant the way out of gate 2 and is comfortable out in front. The speed in the bike looks pretty impressive. Woofenden beginning to relax, enjoy his race. But what an effort from Jonsson to get the better of Janowski.
Yep, Ty Woofenden then going wide in turns 1 and 2 of the final lap here in Malila tonight. Second place is Jonsson, third is Janowski. It's a clear lead for Ty Woofenden, who is going to pick up his second win of the night. Super ride from Ty Woofenden of Great Britain. He moves on to 7 points. From his 3 rides, with Andreas Jonsson really battling hard with Mads Janowski there for that second spot. But Woofenden looks so quick there, Kelvin.
Fabulous. Once he settled down and he moved out wide, he had a nice smooth ride, and there is no question that his bike and his setup is fantastic because he pulled away and won really comfortably. Really nice ride from Jonsson, a brave ride, roaring round the outside to get the better of Janowski.
So, Ty Woofenden moves joint top of the meeting with Hancock and Holder, and he now restores a 10-point lead in the World Championship.
Yeah, well, Ty has responded nicely after a disappointing opening ride. Said he had the wrong gearing on and it looked like the bike was a bit overgeared. And the crew were working well. You see it again. Second time of asking this, of course, and he's comfortable into the first corner. Rides fairly tight. Andreas Jonsson on the outside of Janowski. is very brave in actual fact. At the end of the first lap, Johnson completely disappears. I couldn't quite see him. He was right out by the air fence as they completed the opening lap. I do think that Janowski tried a different bike here. Not sure he'll use it again. It didn't appear to be quite as quick as the first one he had. Maybe there was a problem, and that's why they changed the bike for his third ride. Johnson looking for more points, and is brave. Look how wide he goes there, lifting right up by the fence, and he just about gets himself into second place, and it's a strong ride from the Swedish rider, but a better one from Woffinden, of course. Back-to-back win, 7 points. He's right in the mix.
Yep, riding superbly here. Ty Woffinden, excellent race from him in heat number 12. We move on to heat number 13 coming up. A little bit of track grading now, though. It has settled down. We've had 12 heats here in Malila tonight, and track work going on, and it is settling down quite nicely.
Yes, it is, and hallelujah to that. It is bumpy, it's quite challenging, but there's no question that the track is improving.
There's only one part that's challenging, though. It's the first and second turn. The rest is fine, isn't it?
It's not too bad,
Yeah.
not too bad at all. There's a bump coming over the start and finish line, and it's choppy through that first corner. And you just need to be in the right frame of mind to be able to pick your way through there, but riders aren't leaping about quite as much as they were.
No. So, 12 heats gone, and Niels Christian Iversen is down in the pits with our man Chris Louis.
Niels, those all-important race wins have eluded you so far, but you've got 6 points so far on the night.
Yeah, so far it's been 3-time second, but hopefully I can get a couple of race wins and things will look a bit better.
It's been tough off the outside gates. The inside gates seem to be an advantage. You've got to be wise in the first turn, but you're coming off 1 and 2 in your last 2 races.
Yeah, hopefully they will work to my advantage now. I had a couple of tough gates from two times from gate 3 and 1 time from gate 4, so it's hard out there, but hopefully I can make the most of the inside gates now.
With the conditions as they are, how do you set the bike up? You want it to drive off the start, but you've got to be cautious on the track.
Yeah, it's a good question, really. Last race I didn't feel I was set up properly. We tried a few different things, but tried to go the other way now. Hopefully it will work better.
Good luck for the rest of the evening.
Thanks.
That's a good point, actually, talking about his gate positions. You know, he's had all the outside gates and he's still managed to pick up 6 points. So potentially he's in a strong position with the preferred gates in his last 2 rides.
Ty Woffinden now. Let's hear what he's got to say with Chris Louis.
Ty miscalculated the setup on the bike for the first race, but 2 perfect race wins to follow.
Yeah, I feel good. Don't want to jinx myself, so we'll just keep working.
Track conditions seem to be settling down, but it's all about the first turn, not making mistakes. I mean, you used the rut to your advantage in the last one on the first turn.
Yeah, for sure. You know, because it got rerun in the last one, I watched the replay and saw Marcek do the cutback, and he was pretty close. So, smart first corner and then a rerun, and yeah, it was all good. So, a few more heats to go, a few more races to score some more points. Aim for them semis.
With the track conditions they are, you guys could be forgiven for just going through the motions and doing the best you can, but there's some cracking racing out there.
Yeah, there is. You know, we're here to race bikes. That's what we love doing, and you know, we'll race hard and fair, and you know, that's all we can do.
Thanks, Ty.
Thanks.
How fast is he though, Nige?
Cool.
He is quick.
He's on a rocket.
He is, yeah, and he had that engine just before the World Cup, and I've noticed that he chooses that often. And we watched practice yesterday, and he had a couple, but both Chris and I actually picked that one. He looks very comfortable on it, and it's very quick indeed. Peter Johns, his engine tuner, is doing fine work, and Chris Holder also is on the same equipment and has got plenty of speed as well. The sponsor, of course, keeping the youngsters excited.
I want one of those T-shirts. Can we blast one up towards the commentary box?
I doubt it very much. But
I'll fight you for it.
We will fight one for it. Because I want one too. But
excellent.
People enjoying themselves. Good to see youngsters here. And I would say all credit to the Swedish crowd. It's been an awful day, but they've turned out in their droves, and it's a very healthy crowd.
Yeah, it certainly is great to see, because the easiest thing in the world would have been to just stay at home.
Yeah, watch it on the telly. But a good atmosphere, and enough people in here to make that atmosphere, and they're having a few drinks. having something to eat, and they've been witnessing some pretty decent stuff.
So, heat number 13 is coming up. Very shortly, we have Andreas Jonsson in this race with Matti Zegar, Antonio Lindback and Chris Holder. And here's the World Championship standings. Wolfenden 10 up on Pedersen, 14 up on Hancock. Everson creeping back into 4th place.
Yeah, nice move. Holder, of course, coming up now, is riding nicely. Zegar hanging on there, but look how close it is. If you slip up between 5th and 8th, they're just 5 points in it. And even Jonsson and Jensen are not out of it at all. So you've got to say that pressure on those riders. You must keep building the points. You can ill afford to run last places.
Yep, heat number 13 is coming up. We've had 12 heats so far, which means every rider has completed 3 rides. And it does mean now that whatever happens for the rest of the evening, we are going to get a result. That means if it does decide to pour it down with rain again, we are going to get a result, but we want to see 23 heats tonight. We've come this far with all the effort. Here we go, heat 13. Here's your lineup of heat number 13, then Andreas Jonsson going off the inside, Matti Zegar off 2, Antonio Lindback off 3, and Chris Holder going off the outside. It's an appetising lineup here. Chris Holder, by the way, who rides for Piraterna in the Swedish League, alongside Greg Hancock, will be up against Niels Christian Everson on Tuesday night in the Swedish League, Piraterna versus Indiana. And here, at the GMB Arena, it's Dakana up against Vetlanda. So you'll see Nicky Pedersen against Ty Wolfenden.
Yeah, that'll be a big night.
And Piraterna, Indiana, I am told British viewers can see that on British Eurosport.
Okay,
Tuesday night.
Should be a good night of Speedway. Hopefully the weather behaves itself. Interesting to see how Holder gets on here. He had gate 3 last time and found it tough. It's off the outside. Andreas Jonsson, a hard charging ride from him last time.
Yep, heat number 13 it is then. Take try. Zegar's made a good one off 2, but Jonsson holds that inside line. Now Holder's going to try and come through! Where did he find that from? And look how close they are! Into turns 3 and 4. Zegar now round the outside. Holder to the fence. And
Lindback! Oh, Lindback from nowhere charges up the inside. Holder brilliant in the first corner. Zegar now neck and neck down the back straight. Proper Speedway here, no doubt about that. Lindback, an opportunist move, gets himself to the front. Zegar in 2nd place. Holder battling in 3rd. Andreas Jonsson now up the inside, but Lindback, a disappointing ride last time, fires himself to the front.
Antonio Lindback has that lead, is the wild card tonight with Zegar's 2nd. Holder is still putting Matti Zegar under pressure here. Antonio Lindback riding beautifully. This would put him up to 8 points and a great chance of the semi-finals tonight. Zegar would move on to 8 as well as Chris Holder. So it's 8 points all round for Lindback, Zegar and Holder. And that was a fantastic Speedway race and the crowd are loving every minute of it.
Well, the Swedes in the crowd are absolutely chuffed to bits with that. What a ride. Looked like Holder had done the business coming out of the first corner, but Antonio Lindback, as they went into the first corner for the 2nd time, came roaring up the inside and shows great resolve and picks up a spectacular win. Has the crowd on their feet. He's chuffed to bits with it as well, but that was super Speedway. The opening lap was out of the top draw.
Well, that was a race of the night. Antonio Lindback, the race winner, with Matti Zegar 2nd, Chris Holder 3rd, and Andreas Jonsson trailed in at the back. Disappointment for the former Dakar man here. And now we have 3 riders on 8 points, Lindback, Holder and Zegar, but they have all had 4 rides each, and that was fantastic Speedway.
How close was it? And the track conditions are still choppy and riders really giving it their all. The tapes are up and it's tight between Zegar and Jonsson. Jonsson there lets the bike run wide, but look at Holder. Holder charges through. Brilliant move from the Australian. Then down the back straight, you can throw a blanket over all 4 here. Brilliant stuff. Zegar right round the outside. He hits himself to the front, but it's that man, 16, the wild card tonight, who gets himself to the front. He's last here. And at the end of the first lap, he's first. Brilliant stuff. Absolutely sensational. We need to see the move as he completes the first race. Here's the start again, Jonsson pushing them wide. Holder hits the front momentarily. But now, as they come in turns 3 and 4, it's tight, awfully tight. But Lindback switches to the inside, it's close, but here he comes. Whoa, flying to the front. Great move from the Swedish rider. Here we see it again. This is it. This is the key to it. Calm move. Great move initially from Holder, but Lindback, so tight. Oh, it's tight in there. Really, really tough speedway, but a great ride from him.
Yep, superb stuff. Heat number 14 coming up then here. Lindback, brilliant, moves on to 8 points, as we say, with Holder and Zagar, top of the leaderboard. And here we go with Heat 14 now, the riders at tapes. Moving on here in the Swedish FIM Speedway Grand Prix. Matty Zagar, who rides for the Bellevue Aces in the UK, and I saw some new, fresh pictures today of the Bellevue Stadium that will be ready for next year, the National Speedway Stadium in the UK, and it does look very, very impressive. Chris Harris off the inside in red. Peter Killerman goes off gate 2 in blue. Jason Doyle off gate 3 in white. And the confidence crisis man, Christoph Kasperzak, can he get it right here? Heat number 14, he is a fantastic speedway rider, you have to remember that. It's just not going Christoph Kasperzak's way so far. Now into that first turn and going down is Peter Killerman again, and the red lights have not come on. Peter Killerman, they have now. Halfway down the back straight, the red lights have come on. Now this will be an interesting decision.
Tight first corner, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They were all bunched up, I could see all four back here.
But why did the lights only come on halfway down the back
Maybe
straight?
Craig Ackroyd is thinking that Kilderman should have been able to get up, and he did. He went down out of his own accord. Misses the start. Great start initially from Harris. A little bit of contact there, but he slips off on his own. Not so sure he'll be put back in the rerun.
Yep, it's halfway down the back straight when the red lights came on. They did not come on now. Craig Ackroyd waited. Maybe he just wanted to think about it.
Kilderman, I think, is going to get excluded. He could get back because it's the first corner. But
that's the easy way out for the referee.
But he doesn't get... Yeah, there is a little bit of contact from Harris. A little bit that maybe unsettles him, but he puts his leg back. He hasn't got a nice position, so any contact there, he comes off.
It is all four riders back.
Yeah, that's the get out of jail card for the ref, isn't it? When they go to the first corner.
I'm not quite sure why it took until halfway down the back straight to put the red lights on there.
He was unsure.
Okay, all right. It's all four back anyway. Craig Ackroyd, the referee, giving that decision here. Anders Secker in the pits, the Danish national team manager, talking to Peter Killerman, who is having a rough ride of it tonight.
He is. It's the second time he's been off the bike, and conditions aren't suiting him. I did speak about the fact that he has an unusual style in the respect that he sits in the bike with his leg back, and that's caught him out a couple of times tonight. Doyley's been riding great. He's been out in front. Disappointment for Harris, who's had a difficult night. He only got 1 point, and he had hit the front. And he's got the inside gate. He needs to use the inside gate well again, Harris. He's still out on the track, and they're working furiously to make sure that the bike's ready to go for the rerun. But Peter Kilderman may be Peter Kilderman's fortunate to be in the rerun here.
Okay, heat number 14 it is. Always good to hear opinion, Kelf, on refereeing decisions and how things happen in a meeting. Heat 14 it is. Jason Doyle going off gate 3 in white here. Just a quick moment for me to mention that Andreas Jonsson's club, the Lakeside Hammers in the UK, up against the Coventry Bees with Chris Harris from the Grand Prix on Monday night at the Arena Essex Raceway, West Thurrock, Purfleet in the UK, and it is £5 admission. Why not go along and support the Lakeside Hammers on Monday night, or a Coventry Bees if you fancy travelling down. It's £5 to get in, and great to see clubs having a go to get people in.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be a big turnout on Monday, so looking forward to that. The restart now of Heat 14. Harris on the inside will be looking for another big start.
Peter Killerman goes off gate 2 in blue. Jason Doyle gate 3 in white. Christoph Kasperzak going off the outside in the yellow helmet as well. A lot of these boys will be in the Polish League tomorrow as well. It's a grueling schedule right now. It's non-stop speedway. Polish League tomorrow, a full programme in the Polish Extra League, and what a fantastic standard of racing you see in Poland as well on a Sunday afternoon.
Oh, absolutely.
Into the evening. Heat number 14 it is then here in Malila. Second time of asking. Tape tries. Will Killerman get to the front? He's got the drop on Chris Harris now. Killerman, who many believe is fortunate to be in the rerun, has got the lead, and Chris Harris is second. Third place now, Jason Doyle and Christoph Kasperzak at the back, and Chris Harris is going to have a real go here in red. What a move and what a race this is now, as Killerman holds mid-track line, and Harris has got some speed here. Chris Harris of Great Britain, what a move!
Brilliant stuff from Harris. He comes charging through there to get the better of Kilderman, who they very nearly clashed. match, but he's got there to the front. Doyle coming on strong in second place once again. Harris, what a charge that was to get himself to the front. Super ride. Doyle in second place, but Harris out in front. Brilliant stuff.
This is why Chris Harris is loved by his fans. He never gives up. He really is a determined character down the back straight. He's not had the best of nights, but this is a wonderful ride from Chris Harris of Great Britain. Takes the checkered flag. Super ride from him, and no wonder he nodded his head with approval as he went over the finish line. There are a fair contingent of British fans here. James Easter, the former Peterborough promoter, and his travel company based in the Suffolk area of the UK have brought a party over here for the Grand Prix, and there's probably around 50 of them that have made the journey with the tour there from the UK, and full credit to them for getting right behind their man Chris Harris. Jason Doyle was second, Peter Killerman was third, Christoph Kasperzak at the back. What it means overall now is that Jason Doyle moves on to 8 points. That's a handy little return for Jason Doyle now. And Chris Harris with a fine race win. You've got to give him credit, Colby. Never gives up, does he?
No, it was. He's had a disappointing night, but all credit to him. He battled awfully hard there and showed good speed and got the better of Peter Kilderman. Kilderman initially, second time of asking, makes the start. But Kilderman just not having a good night. Doyle comes close up the inside early doors. See it again away from the tapes, and Kilderman gets to the first corner. But it's the move from Harris to get the better of Kilderman on the second lap is what it's all about. Yeah, it's the first corner again. Kilderman's still in front, but Harris is the one coming so hard at Peter Kilderman as they go into the second lap. Is an absolute joy to see. He'll be chuffed to bits with this. Super speedway, tough speedway too. Kilderman, actual fact, does well to stay on here. That was such a strong move there from Harris, but Harris needs points, and he was really keen for him here. He gets the speed, he's in the right place, very nearly, there was contact, and Kilderman does well to stay on. That allows Doyle to inherit second place, but Chris Harris, a hard charging ride from him.
Yeah, brilliant ride from Chris Harris. He really is a gutsy campaigner. Jason Doyle on to 8 points now. He's one of 4 riders on the 8-point mark now in this Swedish FIM Speedway Grand Prix here at the G&B Arena. Malila, home of Dakarna then in the Swedish League, and Dakarna's very own Nicky Pedersen goes off the inside in red. Gate number 15 is coming up then. Pedersen off the inside, going off gate number 2 is his fellow countryman Niels Christian Iversen. Mats Sajanovski goes off gate 3 in white, and Batchelor off the outside in yellow. Pedersen the favourite off gate 1, Kelf.
Yes, gate 1's been strong all night, and Pedersen's a terrific starter, and I'm sure he'll be aware of that, and he needs a race win. Iversen, who's ridden well because he's at the outside gates, he'll be looking for a race win as well. Janowski's will be a threat. Batchelor's found it tough tonight.
Yep, this will be a good race. Pedersen has got the drive from the inside. Now, can anybody catch Nicky Pedersen? That's the question. Now, coming charging hard is Niels Christian Iversen. Oh, he gets off the gas and he's behind Pedersen. Into the third and fourth turn. Pedersen has the lead. Now Iversen is really putting pressure on. Janowski has still got speed. Surely no way past Pedersen from here, Kelv.
No, but I'll tell you what, Janowski's ridden really nicely to get into second place. Niels Christian even running through the dirt on the outside was vulnerable, and Janowski's there. Iversen coming back at him, but Nicky Pedersen off the inside gate made it work. All sorts of shenanigans going on behind him, but Janowski, with just over a lap to go, is coming on strong.
Got a lot of speed. Janowski looks really quick up the inside line, but Pedersen knows every inch of this Dakarna circuit here. He's got the lead, and he's looking superb down the back straight. And Nicky Pedersen is heading through to the semi-finals here. He's going to move on to 9 from 4 rides. The 3 times world champion takes the checkered flag, and it works superbly off the inside gate for Nicky Pedersen. A race win for him. Mats Sajanovski was second. Third place in blue was Niels Christian Iversen, and Troy Batchelor's poor run tonight continued. He trailed in at the back.
Yeah, he's having a difficult night, but all credit to Nicky Pedersen. Super start on the inside, and was a tough race out in front, but a very useful win for him. Great stuff from Janowski, second place, and he got the better of Iversen, who was charging hard and looking like a winner at one stage. But Pedersen, he's a tough customer, isn't he? Good win.
Pedersen, Janowski, Iversen, Batchelor, the finishing order. Heat 15 is done and dusted, and Nicky Pedersen goes to the top of the leaderboard on 9 points, and look how tight it is. There's several riders on 8. And we've got Everson, Woofenden and Hancock on 7 as well. The race for the top 8 is very, very tight with 1 round of heats to go after this.
Yeah, it's a tough night and everybody's dropping points, but Nicky Pedersen was pleased with this ride, and this is the reason he makes a super start, a clinical start, and a nice first corner. Everson threatens on the outside early doors. Batchelor in amongst it as well, but this is why I shouted out, Nige, because I just thought for a moment Janowski was going to run straight into the side of Troy Batchelor. It didn't happen, but it looked like it might. Pedersen again out in front. Batchelor getting amongst it, but gets tailed off. Everson, look at that down the back straight. So very close indeed. Janowski rides nicely, because Everson's having a good go in second place, but then look at this, runs very, very wide, just round the inside. Nice line from Janowski, and he snatches second place off the Danish rider. But Nicky Pedersen, 9 points. He's battling hard, isn't he?
Nicely done, very much so.
He never knows when he's beat that man.
No, it's his first win of the night, but he's been consistent. He's on 9 points from 4 rides now, and heat number 16 is coming up. And we have the series leader, Ty Woofenden, and we have the 3rd in the world, Greg Hancock, as it stands, although he is still the world number 1 as reigning world champion, of course. Greg Hancock going off the outside gate. That's how tight it is now. Pedersen's win there has pulled the gap back on Woofenden to 7 points. And this is heat number 16. After this race, every rider will have completed 4 rides of the Swedish FIM Speedway Grand Prix. There's your lineup. Thomas H. Jonasson goes off the inside in red. Michael Jepsen Jensen, gate 2 in blue. He's ridden well on occasions tonight. Ty Woofenden, gate 3 in white. 7 points so far, as is Greg Hancock, outside in yellow from the USA. 7 points to him as well.
Well, the 2 boys on the outside have had very similar nights. They started with 3rd places, and then they've come up with back-to-back wins. Gates 3 and 4 are not great, so those 2 boys will be under pressure, and Jepsen Jensen was a winner last time.
Yep, heat number 16, and Woofenden has made a slack start there. He's been left trailing, but now Woofenden goes on the inside. How on earth did he manage that? Ty Woofenden as Jepsen Jensen comes round the outside and closes the gap now. Woofenden holds second. There's a battle now with Hancock trying hard on Jonasson, and it's all very tight going into lap 2. Woofenden holding the inside line. He's got speed, but Jepsen Jensen has that lead, and now Woofenden is going to try outside. Can he get the cut back? Jepsen Jensen, we know, is tough to pass here. And here comes Woofenden!
Oh, brilliant stuff from Woofenden. A slack start, Nige, but I tell you what, it doesn't make any difference. He's got himself to the front. Fabulous riding from Ty Woofenden. Jepsen Jensen now, he's under all sorts of pressure. Thomas H. Jonasson in 3rd place, the world champion out the back. But what can you say about Woofenden? A magical ride.
He was last coming out of the start. He was left standing, his worst gate of the night. But Ty Woofenden has got a win and a battle through for 3rd as well. Jonasson, I think, just hangs on. That was great speedway. Heat number 16. And Ty Woofenden, with his worst start of the night, has somehow managed to win the race.
Brilliant stuff from Ty Woofenden, the championship leader. Keeps that 10-point gap between himself and Nicky Pedersen, who'd won the previous race. He would have been aware of that. Gate 3's a nightmare. Got no grip. He spun up big time off the tapes, but it didn't really matter because he made an excellent move in the first corner and then a smashes pass to get the better of Jepsen Jensen. Wonderful ride from Woofenden.
He tops the Grand Prix now as well with double figures. 10 points for Ty Woofenden, and his lead in the World Championship now is 10 points once again. 16 gone. We've got some great action to come.
Love it, love it. Well, this man's an entertainer. They're delighted in the pits. They're all high-fiving. Haven't won it yet, mate, but I tell you what, with rides like this, you're more than capable because he makes a hash of it, doesn't get away. Great move, up the inside. Hits the front here. Jepsen Jensen responds, gets round the outside as they get into turn 3, opening lap. Once again, just misses the start in actual fact, a little bit late in dropping it, but what a move. Really good. Hancock having a hard time coming from the outside. Outside gates are a big handicap this evening. Jepsen Jensen then having a little bit of a moment there himself, and that allows Ty Woofenden is ready to pounce. What a ride, so smooth, plenty of speed as well. Real hard battling from Greg Hancock with Thomas H. Jonasson as they come through to the completion of the 4 laps with the world champion. Just quite get there with the Swede hanging on for third place, but the race was all about the moves from Woofenden. Top stuff.
Yeah, brilliant from Ty Woofenden. 16 heats gone now and 3 race wins. And we know the importance, Kelvin, of topping the leaderboard going into the pick for the semi-finals to get the best gate possible.
Yeah, and the inside gate is working well, so I'm sure that's going to be a favourite for the draw into the semi-finals. And Woofenden, he's got gate 4 in his last one, so still some work to do. But the way he's riding and the speed he's got, it's looking good.
Let's hear from Matti Zegar, who's had a good night tonight. He's with Chris Louis.
Matti, 8 points out there, and it's a battle for every single one of them, not just against the opposition, but the track as well tonight.
Yeah, definitely it's exciting racing, so I hope everybody enjoys it. You know, for the riders it's not too bad. First 4 heats was a bit rough-ish, but now it's smoother.
It's been a long day, there's been a lot of track preparation, and the riders are watching all this. How do you keep your focus? How do you keep positive?
It was a pretty tough day, you know, 12 o'clock checkout and then 8 hours basically in advance, so it was boring, but you know, we're used to it. Besides Speedway, it's not exciting life, but you know, when it comes to racing, we make up for it.
6th place, it's a good position for you, 8 points on the night, you're still challenging for a podium position.
Yeah, man, I hope the night's not over, so I got another heat and got to bang big points and make the most in the semi, and I've never been in the finals, so it would be very nice.
Thanks, buddy.
No worries. I love it.
Yeah, good work from Zegar this evening. He's solid. He right from the word go, he looks like he's right up for this evening. Difficult conditions in his opening ride, but he made light work of that. And as I say, 8 points going into his last ride. He's in a good position, but it's so tight tonight, Nigel. You can ill afford. You can't rest on your laurels at all.
Yeah, super stuff here in Malila tonight. And again, just an absolute miracle that we do have Speedway here. And Antonio Limbach, the wild card tonight, who's with Chris Louis.
Antonio, welcome back to the Grand Prix circuit. A couple of race wins tonight. It's tough out there, but you're mixing it.
Yeah, it's tough out there, but the track getting better and better, so now it's really nice to race out there. But like you said, I had 3 good races, 1 bad, but still 1 more race to go, so I just need to keep focus.
The pressure is on for all of the riders in the last heats. Just about everybody needs points out there. You've got an inside gate, that's got to be a help.
Yeah, a little bit, of course, but you still need to make a start. You know, if you stay on the inside and you make a bad start, you can be locked up. So you need to have a good start. But I hope they will be good.
Cracking stuff, well done.
Yeah, thanks.
Ridden well tonight, hasn't he, Antonio Limbach? He's been great entertainment, Kelvin.
He has, and he's well documented. He's had problems away from the track, and that affected his form at times. But all credit to him, he's riding well this year and fully deserves his call up this evening, and he's justified it with the race wins he's had so far. So he's delighted the Swedish crowd, Antonio Limbach. He's done a good job.
Good attitude from the riders tonight as well. The lads have just got on with it, Kelvin. The problems on the first and second turn early on, but the riders have just got on with it and shown a good attitude, most of them.
Absolutely, it's a credit to the sport tonight from everybody concerned. 1 or 2 of Kasperzak is struggling full stop wherever he's riding, but by and large I do think that everybody's putting their best foot forward.
Yep, so around about 25 to 10 here in Sweden tonight. It's an hour delay for this meeting just to get the covers off and to get the track in some sort of condition, which is how we got it. And huge credit to everybody involved in getting this meeting on. Thomas A. Jonasson has been in the thick of the action tonight. He's been working hard. He's with Chris Louis.
Thomas, 4 points out there tonight. 7 points doesn't look like getting you a place in the semi-finals, but it's been so tough, hasn't it?
Yeah, you know, it's I'm not getting in positions, and it's very hard to do something because the material is everywhere and it's kind of hard to hit. But you know, I'm not really satisfied or anything like that, but I just have to keep going and try to score more points.
A lot of pressure on the Swedish riders right now. You've won the World Championship. Your fans out there expect for performances from the individual riders.
Yeah, well, I don't have expectation on myself, you know, and that's all I care about at the moment.
Thanks, Thomas.
All right, cheers.
Yeah, not having the best of nights. He's struggling a bit with conditions, there's no question about that, but first year in the Grand Prix, he hasn't had it easy, so I'm sure he's gaining an experience, though.
Yep, heat number 17 is coming up. Here we see the World Championship standings. Woffington now 10 clear on Pedersen. Greg Hancock on 56. This is the halfway stage tonight. 6 out of the 12 rounds of the World Championship. We end up in October at the Etihad in Melbourne. The first time the World Championship Speedway has gone to Melbourne in Australia at the Etihad Stadium. That's coming up in October. Now, heat number 17 is here, and quite a lineup as well. This could be a tasty old affair. 7 points may not be enough to reach the semi-finals, and Greg Hancock is on 7. There's a whole host of riders on 8. So, heat 17 here in Malila. G&B Arena is coming up. Heat number 17, here we go then. Chris Holder off the inside in red with Jason Doyle off gate 2 in blue. Greg Hancock gate 3 in white, only on the 7 points so far, can't afford a last place here. Mats Janowski going off the outside in yellow. Hancock will be aware, Kelvin, he needs points here.
Yeah, absolutely, but he's not coming out of a great gate, is he? Gate 3 is a tough call for him. He failed to score last time, coming off of gate 4, and he gave it everything, but could not get amongst the points. Holder's a major danger here. He started the evening on gate 1, won in fine style, and he's got it again here, and he'll be keen to build on his 8 points. Doyle's ridden well. Doyle out of gate 2 is having a good night. What a lineup, and that's for a fact. Janowski on the outside. This could be a final.
Yep, we have 2 world champions in Holder and Hancock, a world under-21 champion in Mats Janowski. Here we go, heat number 17. And Doyle's made a good one off gate 2. What a start from the Australian. And now Greg Hancock in white, charging hard around the outside. 2 points might just do it for him. Doyle has the lead. This is another great ride in his first year of GP riding. Oh. Here comes Holder, charging through into second now. Janowski third, and Hancock's gone to the back. But the lead is with Jason Doyle, and Hancock now charging round the outside of Janowski.
Wow, what a move once again from Chris Holder, very similar to one he made earlier this evening. Fantastic to get into second place. Doyle out of gate 2, what a start. Having a great night, he's out in front, but Holder's quicker. Holder is a major threat in second place, coming on really strong. Don't know if that's going to be enough for Hancock in third place. Doyle will have to go. Can he hang on out in front?
Well, Holder looks quicker. He's going to try the chop up the inside. Has he got the speed? Janowski almost loses it at the back. The lead is with Doyle. Surely he's going to clamp down the inside line now. That's a good ride. That blocks out the challenge of Holder with Hancock third. And that is a terrific ride from Jason Doyle of Australia.
Well, all credit to him, Nigel. He's new to Speedway, new to Grand Prix Speedway, and he's having a great night. Difficult conditions. The club here leave him out. It's a squad, they don't use him, but they may be reviewing that because he's having a super night. And Doyle now moving on to 11 points. He's comfortably into the semi-finals this evening. Came under a lot of pressure at the end of the race, but he'd done the hard yards in the early part. Brilliant stuff from Doyle.
Yep. And it's with Holder second and Hancock third. Greg moves on to 8 points. Janowski has finished on 8 as well. After 5 rides, there's riders who can come past them. Jason Doyle with 11. Greg Hancock has won 2 of his 5 rides, by the way. So that will work in his favour if and when it comes down to account that.
Yeah, it could be very handy, the 2 wins for the World Championship leader, and this is a real tough race. I've got to say, it was a super lineup, and it proved to be a really good ride from Jason Doyle, the only one who hasn't won a World Championship, and he's the one that comes out on top. All credit to him. Initially now down the back straight, Hancock looks settled nicely in second place. That's 9 points if he finishes there, but look at Holder. Holder makes a great move here, right round the inside and forces his way into second place, and Hancock gets the door well and truly slammed in his face as they complete the first lap. Janowski then gets relegated by Hancock recovering into third place, but it's Doyle. Doyle out in front, rides the Stormer. Super move from Holder, a confident, tough move to get the better of the world champion into second place. And Holder and the 2 Aussies putting on a fine show. Good Speedway.
Yeah, and great respect between the two guys. They get on great, and great to see them at the end of the race. And you deserve that, Jason Doyle. That was fantastic. I think he's ridden brilliantly tonight.
Yeah.
Chris Holder too, getting really stuck in, and good to see him really up for the challenge.
Well, I'll tell you what, Doyle was hanging on in the end. He had to ride that defensive line, didn't he? Because Holder was really, really quick. But good speedway again.
Here we see Nicky Pedersen going off gate number 4 here in the yellow helmet colour. He's on 9 points and is already looking good for the semi-finals now, Nicky Pedersen. 3 second places and a win to his name for the 3 times world champion. Thomas H. Jonasson off the inside. Gate 2 is Chris Harris, a winner last time out, very impressive. Andreas Johnson third in white. And now can Pedersen make it off the outside gate in yellow? He's the closest rival to Ty Woffenden for the world title right now. 10 points, the difference in the race for the world title. Halfway point of the series tonight. This is heat number 18. And can Pedersen get there from gate number 4? He's going to have to go wide into the dirt now. It's Jonasson who has the lead, but Pedersen has got speed. Nicky Pedersen has got speed now, and he's going to have to go wide in that bottom turn 3 and 4. Now he's going to hunt down Thomas H. Jonasson big time. Harris still won't give up. Chris Harris, he holds the inside. Now he's taken Pedersen out wide, who chops up the inside. Good speedway here again.
Yeah, great battle between Pedersen and Harris. Harris now jumping back to the inside. Can he repay the compliment? No, Pedersen slams the door shut. Johnson's out the back, he's got some sort of problem. Thomas H. Jonasson in front, really fast. He hasn't been that good this evening, but he said he wasn't getting in the right positions. Well, he's rectified that now because he's out in front looking good. Pedersen in a solid second place.
Yeah, Pedersen's really had to work hard to get the better of Chris Harris there, but Thomas H. Jonasson in his home country tonight, in his home GP. We're back here in Stockholm later in the year, of course, but Thomas H. Jonasson takes a checkered flag in red, and that is a fine ride, with Nicky Pedersen having to settle for second spot, and a hard-fought second it was as well, with Chris Harris of Great Britain, who again has provided us with plenty of entertainment tonight. But Thomas H. Jonasson with 3 points to his name. Too little, too late though for a place in the semi-finals.
Yeah, but he'll be pleased with that. He pleases the home crowd, of course, and he's away from the inside gate, which has been spectacular tonight, the inside gate. And I've got to say that he rides nicely. The conditions early on just quite clearly didn't suit him, but the track conditions have improved, and Thomas H. Jonasson was really quick out in front.
Yep, Jonasson, Pedersen, Harris, and it does mean now that overall, the top of the leaderboard, Jason Doyle is on 11 with Nicky Pedersen on 11, but Woffenden has a race in hand on 10 points now as we look towards heat 19. But for Andreas Johnson, not a good night in the Grand Prix here. 5 points to his name, and he having to push the bike, or his mechanic having to push it back to the pits.
Quite clearly some sort of mechanical issue there that cost him any chances of building on his points. Thomas H. Jonasson makes a super start. I thought for a moment Harris might get to the front here. He made that move earlier on, but can't quite make it stick. And as you rightly say, Nigel, in the race itself, Nicky Pedersen, well, he comes around the outside and gets himself into second place, but then Chris Harris makes him work here because Harris is determined, squares the corner off and actually charges up the inside but runs a little bit wide, and Nicky Pedersen's got his wheels in line early, a long straight, and gets the better of the British rider, but all credit to them. They put on a show for us, and it's really nip and tuck throughout the 4 laps. Here we see Harris coming up the inside of Pedersen, but Pedersen reads it nicely. Jumps back to the inside, but Thomas H. Jonasson, all credit to him, didn't look that enthusiastic, did he, when he was interviewed by Chris Louis early on. But that's a nice race win, and a race win at this level is a confidence-boosting ride.
Yeah, fine ride, and a great ride as well from Nicky Pedersen to get the better of Chris, because Chris Harris really got stuck in and really did have to work hard. Now we've got a smashing lineup here, heat 19. Niels Christian Iversen needs points off the inside gate. Matti Zagar is on 8 points. Let's just go across it. Niels Christian Iversen off the inside. Matti Zagar gate 2. It's been a disappointing night for Peter Killerman. He goes off gate 3. And Michael Jepsen Jensen has been a spoiler tonight. He goes off the outside.
Well, he's had that race win, and that's giving him a little bit of incentive here. He's within touching distance. Needs to probably win this race to get himself into the semi-finals, but he can do it. And he's been up and down. He hasn't quite got the consistency at Grand Prix level that he needs, but he has the opportunity. The danger man for me has got to be Iversen. Ivesen's had a tough night, he's been battling hard, but he's got the inside gate, he needs to take advantage of it.
Heat number 19 it is. That's a great start from Zagar off gate number 2. Jet propelled. Zagar has the lead. Now Iversen holds second place, and Iversen needs this. Michael Jensen in third in yellow is going to try up the inside, but Iversen blocks the door there. And the man in white here is Peter Killerman, but the lead is with Matti Zagar, and this will put Zagar on to 11 points, level with Doyle and Pedersen.
Yeah, well, it was a really good start from Zagar, but an awful one from Iversen. He missed the start completely. I've got to say, Michael Jensen is coming on strong in third place. In actual fact, he's not third for very much longer. He's now second. Brilliant ride from him. Iversen now replaced the compliment. Real handlebar, elbow to elbow down the back straight. Zagar's disappeared off out in front. But Jensen, my goodness, where's he going?
They're chopping each other inside out here.
Good speedway though, Nigel.
Yeah, it is. For second place, remember. Zagar's got the win in the back. Forget about him. This is for second place, and Iversen needs it. Niels Christian Iversen needs it. He's gone wide, down to the line.
Oh, really close.
Jensen just did it, maybe.
Well, that
Goodness
was
me.
Brilliant speedway for second and third. I do apologise to Mr. Zagar because he got overlooked there. Great ride from him, and he'll be pleased with that. I think he finishes on 11. That's nice work from him. But look at this finish here. This could be a photo finish, people. Charging up. They've really swapped places several times.
2 points for Jensen will put him on 8.
Oh, that's tight. Well, I wouldn't like to say. Iversen must have been awfully close to just grabbing that on the line. See the head on. Charging towards the line, just leaves in there. Jensen, head down, focus on the line. Who hits there?
Oh, I still can't call it.
Oh, that is close. Look at that bump after the line there. Once again,
this is the angle, isn't it?
Can we split them? God, I can't. No, I think it's a dead heat.
Well. Still waiting. We know Zagar won and Kilderman was last.
I'll tell you what, I'm glad I don't have to call that, because that is so tight. Oh, they touch the line at the same time.
They do.
He's gone.
He's given it to Iversen.
Oh, that's close.
So that means that Michael Jensen only gets a point and moves on to 7. And Niels Christian Iversen gets second place there. So Iversen moves on to 9. That's the result. So it's Zagar, Iversen, Jensen. Zagar moves on to 11, level with Doyle and Pedersen, and Iversen moving on to 9. And that decision means that Michael Jensen will not make the semi-finals.
That's quite harsh. And you've got to feel for Jensen because he rode a stormer. They both did, in actual fact. It was
brilliant race.
Quite possibly the best race for second place on the night. Zagar was textbook out in front, but I wouldn't like to have split them nights. That was really, really close. Anyway, back to the action. And we've got Ty Wuffenden coming out here. He's going from the outside. Pedersen dropped a point in his previous ride from the outside. And can Wuffenden do a little better than that?
Yeah, well, 8 points. Right now, doesn't see Hancock in the top 8 on the count back. But we'll count all that after heat 20, subject to FIM approval. It's Bachelor off the inside, Lindback going off gate 2, Christoph Kasperzak goes off gate 3, and the series leader Ty Wuffenden going off the outside in the yellow helmet colour. This is heat 20. Lindback's been great value tonight, great to watch.
Yeah.
Really has got stuck in, and a great choice of wild card. Heat number 20, Wuffenden going off the outside. Took advantage of a slight slip by Jensen in the previous win, but he was quicker and he was there to bounce. Here we go, heat number 20. Now going into that first turn, who's going to get it? Wuffenden chops up the inside! What a move from Ty Wuffenden! How on earth did he manage that? He said in the interview he'd been studying replays of races here. He's gone from gate number 4. He chopped up the inside. He's got the lead. Lindback is second. Kasperzak is third. And if it stays like this, Ty Wuffenden will lead into the semi-finals with 13.
Yeah, brilliant move in the first corner once again from Wuffenden. Switching to the inside. Fabulous movement. He's fast. Lindback's giving chase in second place. Bachelor was out of shape early on the first lap. lap. He's now getting the better of Kasperzak, who's having a dreadful evening once again. But there's no question Ty Woofenden is having the absolute opposite. He's having a super night. A lap to go, comfortable out in front. Antonio Lindback, you're dead right. A quality wild card this evening, but Woofenden's so fast.
Woofenden won here last year on 17 points. He's got 13 tonight. Breezes into the semi-finals as leader of the GP. Ty Woofenden, who started with a 3rd place tonight and now has 13 points to his name. That is a super ride from Ty Woofenden of Great Britain, and now restores his 10-point advantage in the World Championship.
And I think he's done that the hard way, Nigel, because he hasn't had a great draw. He's had 3 outside gates, 2 gate 4s and a gate 3, and Woofenden has made light of that. He has been spectacular coming through the traffic.
Yep, Woofenden the winner with Antonio Lindback in 2nd place. He finishes on 10 and is into the semi-finals. Brilliant. Bachelor in 3rd, but it's Ty Woofenden of Great Britain who leads the Grand Prix and will have first pick of gate positions for the semi-finals.
58.8. 2 points.
Yeah, great stuff from Woofenden. He is class here tonight. The team working well, the rider absolutely in tune with his equipment. And again, the outside gates are tough, but the move here, he's got time, he looks across, he reads it brilliantly. Bachelor leaves the door open. Antonio Lindback then gets the better of Troy Bachelor, who gets filled in massively down the back straight by that man. Look at that, looks across, all the time in the world. He's able to switch to the inside, the door's open and he bounces, and once he hits the front, he generates more and more speed. Antonio Lindback in the blue helmet colour being forced wide in the first corner initially by Troy Bachelor, rides solidly for 2nd place. But Ty Woofenden, you've got to say, he didn't look at his best last week. Well, on the evidence of the last few rides, he looks absolutely on top form here this evening.
His cutbacks as well, Kelvin. The way he's cut back and used his mind and his focus. He's ridden intelligently tonight.
Calm, no panic, and it reflects in the performance. Those 4 wins, I can assure you, have not been all from the tapes. Twice, or at least twice, he's had to come through the traffic and really entertain us.
Yeah, so we'll have the draw for the semi-final very shortly. Would you go gate 1, gate 2? If you're Woofenden, which way would you go?
Gate 1.
Yep, simple as that.
Gate 1, it's working so well, and he has the ability to hold it tight in the first corner and pick up the grip coming out of the tunnel. I'd be really surprised if he goes for another gate.
Yeah, well, Jason Doyle, by my reckoning, will have 2nd pick, and Greg Hancock, despite the 2 race wins, appears that he may well be in danger here. We'll just have to confirm that top 8 for you. Just waiting for FIM confirmation on the countback for the top 8, because there are 2 riders on 8, Matt Sajanovski and Greg Hancock.
There are, and Hancock's had 2 race wins, and Janowski's only had 1. So I just wonder whether that might get flip-flopped around, Nige.
Could well do. Let's confirm it for you now. After 20 heats tonight, Greg Hancock does get the better of Matt Sajanovski by the virtue of the fact that he had 2 race wins.
Yes.
And so he's through, and Matt Sajanovski misses out. Ty Woofenden leads on 13, Doyle, Zagar, Pedersen on 11, Lindback and Holder on 10, Everson 9, and Hancock on 8. Qualifies just ahead of Matsi Janowski.
Just shows you how competitive Grand Prix Speedway is. The winner last week misses the semi-finals this week and hasn't ridden badly.
No, he hasn't.
He hasn't. He's battled really hard, but the virtue of 2 race wins just shows you how important race wins are. And even though Hancock failed to score in his last ride, he just sneaks into the top 8 and into the semi-finals with the potential of more points that he desperately needs in his chase for another World Championship. Unfortunately for Greg, he's not going to get a great place to start from, that's for sure. He'll almost certainly end up with an outside gate. Little break now. It's been a good night. I tell you what, all credit to the riders. They really have battled hard, but look at that from Woofenden. So far, he has been exceptional tonight.
Yep, Pedersen is in the semi-finals, but Ty Woofenden will feel the form that he's on, and with better gate picks, he could maybe even extend that World Championship.
I agree with that, Nigel. It's really tight here with 5th to 8th. Not a lot in it at all. Just 5 points between Zagar and Janowski, but I do think that Woofenden will be relishing the semi-final and possibly the final because he's had a hard draw, a tough draw on a night where the inside gates have been a big advantage.
That's the top 8 then, and we have those clear-cut right now for a place in next year's Grand Prix series. Be a fine achievement if Jason Doyle can book his place in next year's series after just 1 year in the Grand Prix. That'll be a fine result for Doyle. Be interesting to see the wildcard picks as well. Jarek Hampel currently out injured. I wonder whether we can put him down for a pick next year, which would reduce it down to 3 available picks. Here we go, yep. Gate position's pretty convincing, Kel.
Yeah, no surprise to see that, Nige. Yeah, sorry to interrupt your chat about picks for next year, but you're dead right.
We'll do picks for tonight first,
we'll do picks for this evening. And here we see the inside 2 gates neck and neck, and the outside 2 gates neck and neck, but a significant advantage to go off gates 1 and 2, the red and the blue next door to each other. So I don't think we'd see too many surprises from the boys getting the best picks. They'll be going for the inside gate. Here we go.
So, here we go, Woofenden, surely red. There you go.
No surprise, Woofenden off the inside. Really had to do that. Pedersen surely will line up alongside him.
Yep.
Top 2 in the world going head-to-head in semi-final number 1. What an opening semi-final with Holder as well. Wow.
3 world champions.
Gate 4, so you got the big turn back. Yep, got to have that. Holder there off the outside, and Everson. Wow, this is some semi.
Brilliant.
Winner of Cardiff, of course. He goes off gate 3. Brilliant lineup for semi-final number 1.
Just a bit. Absolutely fantastic lineup for the first semi-final.
Jason Doyle now having a Super Grand Prix. First pick for him. No hesitation. Off the inside, no surprise either. Matti Zagar, gate 2. Won his last ride off gate 2 in fine style. No surprise for him to go off there. Great stuff. What a character. Great to see him back with a smile on his face. He's had some difficult times. Gate 4. Gate 4. Yeah, gate 4. Gate 4 for Antonio. And Hancock off of gate 3. But Hancock, well, you know what he'll do. And sometimes the stats don't always back up the performances in the latter stages, Nige, so you can never write off Greg Hancock. You wouldn't be surprised to see him in the final.
Yeah, very much so. Despite the disadvantage of the gates for the second semi-final, but it really is a fantastic semi-final lineup. Woofenden, Pedersen, Holder and Hancock, 4 world champions of the 8 semi-finalists, and we have 8 world titles between them in the 2 semi-finals. It's not bad.
Top quality, Nige, and not bad is all right. I think it's quite good in actual fact. But no, semi-final number 1, I don't know if I'd want to be in that. That frightens me a little bit. From a rider's perspective, you're going to really have to have the mental strength with the top 2 in the world going head-to-head. Holder coming back to top form, and Everson, you can never rule him off. He snatched the win, of course, in Cardiff, didn't he? When Holder looked like he was going to get that one, but all credit to the Danish rider. Came up with a storming ride in the final, and you can never underestimate him. Semi-final number 2, Jason Doyle must be excited about the fact that he could well make the final this evening. And consider he doesn't get used by the club here. If he makes the final and gets on the rostrum, well, they say actions speak louder than words, and by golly, they will be in that regard. But Doyle will be excited and looking forward to his semi-final off the inside.
Yeah, it's quite a lineup, really is, and we're going to be in for an absolute treat, I'm sure.
Been a good night. You know, I've had to deal with your paranoia all day, will it, won't it?
You were just as bad.
Wow.
It was never in doubt, really, was it?
Never in doubt.
But it's not just the covers, Kelv, is it? Yes, the covers gave us the basis and the hope.
Yes.
But then it was the equipment here that would enable them to clear the track to get dry material down.
Absolutely, it's a combination of factors. I think 75% has to go towards the covers.
Track covers, yeah.
No question, but the 25% and the hard yards that were done to whip the track into shape for us to go racing, and for these hardy souls out there out in the open to come and watch some proper speedway. It's been good.
Yep, and it's just after 10 o'clock in a meeting that started only 2 hours ago. So in 2 hours we've done 20 heats.
Good stuff, isn't it?
Yeah.
Not too many restarts, is there?
No, it's
even
been
with
brilliant.
even with tricky conditions, we haven't had too many restarts. But semi-final number 1 coming up is quite a lineup, and really looking forward to it. Woofenden on the inside, cool, calm and collected. It's been really, really impressive, but I tell you, this is going to be a tear-up.
Just a little bit. The inside 2 gates are advantageous. And now Ty has an 11-point lead in the World Championship over Nicky Pedersen. How he would love to go away from here with something similar, or maybe even better.
Well, if he can restore the 12-point lead he had prior to Latvia, I'm sure he'll be absolutely delighted with that, and anything over that, I'm sure, would be a lovely bonus. But it never writes off that man, can you, Nicky Pedersen? He definitely is a hard charger, and the 2 boys on the inside going head-to-head, 1 and 2 in the world. Great lineup.
So here we go then with the first semi-final, and what a lineup it is. 3 world champions here. Ty Woofenden leads the world championship by 11 points. He's off the inside in red, and the man he leads is Nicky Pedersen right alongside him, gate 2 in blue. Niels Christian Iversen, gate 3 in white, and Chris Holder off the outside in yellow. No doubt the inside 2 gates statistically are the best, but anything can happen in a Grand Prix semi-final, Kelvin Tatum.
Yeah, and often does. And quite often the stats go out the window. Iversen won Cardiff out of gate 3, and then nobody gave him a prayer from there. So you've got to have your wits about you. Woofenden's been outstanding. The speed in the bike has been extraordinary, and he goes from the inside gate. Pedersen, a hard charger, never knows when he's beaten. You can never rule him out. Holder's been great tonight, much more like his old self. Got to come up with something special from the outside. What a lineup for semi-final number 1.
Here we go. This is going to be a thriller in Malila. Semi-final number 1. And Woofenden's made a decent start, but Pedersen's got the drop on him. Now there's real danger for Woofenden because Iversen comes up the inside. Oh, he just hangs on. Now Pedersen has the lead. Woofenden is second, and Woofenden is going high to the dirt. Now Woofenden, has he got the speed? Iversen comes up the inside. Woofenden's gambling here because Niels Christian Iversen has got the lead on him now. Pedersen the leader, Iversen second, Woofenden third, and Woofenden's coming back for more.
What a ride that is from Pedersen out in front. Oh, Ty Woofenden did leave himself very vulnerable indeed there, and Iversen momentarily was in second place. But all credit to Woofenden who responded and has now got second place. But Nicky Pedersen, never count him out. What a start from gate 2. He's going to win this. He's going to get to the final.
And so is Woofenden. Yeah, and that is hugely important because Iversen got the better of him at one stage. But what a ride from Nicky Pedersen on his home track here in Sweden. Nicky Pedersen the winner. Ty Woofenden was second. They are our first 2 finalists here in Malila. What a ride from Nicky Pedersen from start to finish. He made a much better gate than Woofenden there.
Yeah, it was tight to the first corner, but just as they entered the first corner, Pedersen was able to get over the top of Ty Woofenden, stamped his authority on the race right from the first corner and didn't put a foot wrong. Woofenden, well, he put it all on the line on the outside and he was vulnerable, but recovered, gets to the final.
And they're going to do it again in the final.
Can't wait.
Pedersen and Woofenden. What an end to the meeting we have in prospect. Woofenden 15, Pedersen 14 is the score now at the top of the leaderboard, and they're both back in a few moments' time for the grand final. He's up for it. Woofenden's up for it. What an end to the Grand Prix we've got.
Yeah, it was a fabulous lineup, but Nicky Pedersen, well, what a start. That bike really digs in and gets him to the front. Woofenden's vulnerable here. Iversen coming at him hard on the inside, and Woofenden decides to ride right round the outside. It was a high-risk strategy, and momentarily it failed. But he had the composure, he had the calmness to realise it. Look, he's back to third there, and then realises, no, I can't ride here. Trusts his speed. Iversen then rides that conservative line right round the inside, and Woofenden has a little bit of good fortune there to be able to get back to second place. All credit to Pedersen, he's out in front, but Ty Woofenden having to really work overtime to get himself back into second place. Pedersen camp, absolutely delighted, and rightly so. Nicky Pedersen battling hard. Good last week, good again this week. What a final we could have between those two again.
And two others from this semi-final.
Absolutely.
Yep, it's going to be quite a finale here. Can Woofenden win in Malila for a second successive year? Second semi-final coming right up now. What a lineup it is. This only the halfway stage of the World Championship, remember. We go to Horsens in Denmark in a couple of weeks' time, a temporary track that has been installed at a football stadium in Jutland, north of northern Jutland. Probably about, 45 minutes to an hour from Billund Airport. That is coming up in a couple of weeks' time in Horsens in Denmark. So, heat number 22, second semi-final. Here we go with the lineup for you. Who will join Woofenden and Pedersen? Jason Doyle inside in red, Matti Zegar gate 2 in blue, Greg Hancock gate 3 white, Antonio Lindback, the wild card, has been hugely entertaining tonight. He goes off the outside gate. Here we go! Into that first turn, and it's all very tight with the lead. Doyle early on, and now here comes Lindback! Lindback and Doyle wheel to wheel! And Lindback has the lead. Second place is Jason Doyle. Watch out for Greg Hancock. Oh, and Zegar's come through, and Doyle's been beaten up. Doyle has gone to the back here, but Lindback is turning on the style with Matti Zegar chasing hard after him.
Yeah, what a first lap that was. Lindback brilliant down the back straight. Doyle just got in the wrong place. Got relegated to the back. You got to feel for him. Must have felt confident about making the final with the inside gate. Lindback is fast, really fast out in front. Zegar in second place. Hancock just getting a little bit out of shape. Not looking good for the world champion in third place. But Lindback, what a showing tonight. Flying in front, he's going to make the final.
The Swedish flags here in the G&B Arena are flying high. It's Antonio Lindback of Sweden, the wild card makes the final, along with Matti Zegar. Lindback, Zegar, Pedersen and Woofenden is how we're shaping up for the grand final here in Malila in just a few moments' time. And we have been royally entertained here in Malila.
Yep.
Fantastic speedway.
Yeah, proper speedway track, super crowd, great work done by everybody concerned to get the meeting on. But Antonio Lindback is having a fabulous night. We know he has the ability. He's been enjoying a super season, and he's enjoying a super night tonight. Through to the final with an excellent ride. Zegar also strong in second place, but Lindback, can't say enough about that.
Lindback and Zegar, the finishing order, and Lindback, remember, off gate number 4, wins the second semi-final. Maybe an option for somebody if they go for the pick in the final.
What a
if there
ride.
is an option left, yeah.
What a ride it is, and it's so pleasing to see such a talented rider really recapture it and really start doing the business. Not easy. And Doyle initially must have felt confident about making the final tonight. Doyle got a feel for him a little bit, just finds himself in the wrong place here, middle of the track, and they go either side of him. Such a shame for the Australian who's ridden well this evening. Lindback out in front, once again, away from the tapes. Tough going to the first corner. Lindback's made a great jump, and he's roared round that outside. What an effort it is from him. They go down the back straight, and Doyle here, Nige, watch this. He just gets himself in the wrong place, and he just gets battled, and they go either side of him. But that man, considering the conditions, considering the pressure, comes in and does an outstanding job, and he's in the final. And who's to say he can't pick up a win? Because when he's got to the front, he's had plenty of speed.
Certainly has, and it's great to see. And you have to hope that riders like Christoph Kasperzak, who's going through a tough time right now.
Yeah.
We know that Kasperzak's got the ability, but again has failed to score in 5 rides tonight. He did that in Latvia as well. We hope that maybe he can come back and show some fantastic form.
Absolutely, it's desperate for Christoph right now, but no doubt he has ability. World number 2, you don't do that if you haven't got some sort of ability. So, yeah, he's having a difficult time. But Antonio Lindback's got through his difficult times. He's got a decent team around him. He's hungry for success again in Speedway. And, you know, he must be nearly 30 now. He's been around a while. He's got plenty of experience. So he won't be intimidated about this final. He has everything to gain and nothing to lose.
Remember, I think the first time I saw Lindback was at Wimbledon in a under-21 test match, England under-21s against Denmark under-21s back in 2003, something like that.
Time ago.
Yeah, 12 years ago now. And anyway, terrific night for Lindback. So Nicky Pedersen's going to have first choice of gate positions in the final. As it stands, the World Championship, Woofenden leads by 10 points over Nicky Pedersen.
Yeah, and what a lineup it's going to be, and you've got to feel that Pedersen will go for the inside gate. He's got his dander up, hasn't he? And got to say, Woofenden will be under pressure. There's no question about that. Nicky Pedersen there, ready to go. Can't believe he's got a gate 2. Well, gate 2.
Well, it worked for him, didn't it, Kelv?
Yeah,
it
but
worked for him. Gate 1. Now, surely Woofenden from 4 to try the cutback?
Yeah, I would think so. Yep, you're right. Woofenden. That has made it more difficult, and Zagar, of course, has had a good night off for gate 3. But there's no question in my mind that's an advantage for Pedersen. But we did see Lindback win from gate 4 in the second semi-final. Lindback, Pedersen, Zagar and Woofenden, super lineup. Going to be interesting to see which way it goes.
And several times tonight, Woofenden has done the cutback, but he's not been up against Nicky Pedersen. Well, he's done it.
Exactly that, and the fact is, in the final, the other 3 lads are having a decent night, aren't they?
Just a bit.
Exactly. So Woofenden now, this is going to be the 3rd time he goes off at gate 4 this evening, so he knows what it's all about. But he does know that if he doesn't quite get there, he will go for the cutback, and he will need a little bit of good fortune to see if it works out. I've got to say, right now, the way it's working out, it's an opportunity for Pedersen to try and get back at Woofenden a little bit, maybe even psychologically. If he beats him a couple of times tonight, maybe a little bit of seed of doubt with Woofenden. And
it's one apiece tonight, Woofenden Pedersen.
Exactly, yeah. So
this is the decider.
Indeed, yeah. The best of 3 tonight. We're going to the final, and a nice little subplot within it. But Zagar's ridden nicely, and Antonio Lindback, what a fairy tale that would be if he could come up with a win.
Well, once again, just have to say, what a fantastic achievement to get this meeting on tonight. The rain was dreadful all afternoon. It was torrential.
Yeah.
And the covers came off at 6 o'clock. They got some track work done. They put some new shale down. And we've had a Speedway meeting. And
a fine one.
I just think it's fantastic.
And a fine Speedway meeting, and all due to the fact that the right decision yesterday was made to put the covers on Friday, because the weather forecast has been awful for a weird period of time.
It's been accurate.
And bang on. And yeah, the rain did come, and then the rain did stop, and that was the key to it. The rain stopping allowed the race and the work to go ahead. So yeah, and everybody's enjoyed it. I can't believe anybody hasn't enjoyed it who's paid their money this evening.
Tricky early on, first and second turn, first 8 heats. Tricky.
I'll say I was glad I was watching.
But to be fair, the riders got on with it, Kelvin, and showed a good attitude.
No real whinging, was there? No, we're here, it's tough, and it got better, and that's the good thing. If it had stayed the same, I think maybe 1 or 2 boys might have started whining a bit. But there's no question that the track staff have done their bit, and the riders have responded in a great way by putting on a good show.
Yep, no doubt about it. Horsens in a couple of weeks' time in Denmark.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
7th round, yep. And Nicky Pedersen will have lots of support that night in his home country.
Indeed he will, and they've got to say that Pedersen's building his confidence. He's been maybe a little bit off colour in a couple of Grand Prix, but last week and this week he's been bang on it, and he's keeping Woofenden right up to his work. But in some ways, I think it's actually a good thing for Woofenden that he has a competitor that's going to come at him hard, because it keeps you motivated, it keeps you focused. And tonight you can see it's been tit for tat, hasn't it? You know, swinging one way, that one wins a race and then the other responds. It's a great dynamic to the championship.
Well, here we go for the final itself. Riders are getting set. It's going to be a big one, no question about it. And the World Championship sees Ty Woofenden 10 points up on Nicky Pedersen. Greg Hancock on 58, Matty Zagar creeping up nicely into the top 4.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've got to say, from Woofenden's point of view now, coming from the outside, he'll want to keep it to 10 points at the very least.
Certainly will. Here we go with the final. Pedersen, meanwhile, a chance for him from gate 1 to further reduce the deficit.
Coming from gate 2 nights.
Gate 2.
Gate 2 nights.
Further chance to reduce the deficit.
Absolutely.
But Lindback, who has been a real sensation tonight, Antonio Lindback from Sweden, Nicky Pedersen, who rides for the Dakar Club here at Malila, so a chance for a home winner off the inside 2 gates. Ty Woffenden, who'll be back here with Vetlanda on Tuesday for Dakar against Vetlanda. Oh, might be that myself.
Yeah, pop over, let's have a look.
Yeah.
Pay to get in, shall we?
Text the wife and tell her I'm not coming out until Wednesday. Grand final coming up here in Malila. Here we go with the final then of the Swedish FIM Speedway Grand Prix. What a night. Huge credit to everybody to get this meeting on, particularly race director Phil Morris, who deserves plenty of accolades. But it's all about the final now. Antonio Lindback off 1 in red. Nicky Pedersen gate 2 in blue. Matti Zegar gate 3 white. Ty Woffenden outside yellow. The top 2 riders in the world are off gates 2 and 4. Nicky Pedersen is second in the World Championship, and Woffenden, the leader, is off the outside in yellow. But it's all about all 4 of these guys. This is a tough one to call.
It is a tough one to call, but I would say Nicky Pedersen, where he's starting from, has the advantage. He won the semi-final in brilliant style from gate 2, had no hesitation in going for it again for the final. Woffenden's had the outside gate a couple of times, made brilliant moves in the first corner. Here we go.
Here we go for the grand final here at Malila. Now Pedersen has made a lovely start, but so has Lindback. Now Woffenden is going to try and get in on the mix, and Woffenden is at the back here now with Pedersen having the advantage right now. Nicky Pedersen has the lead. Woffenden is winding it all on, and Ty Woffenden has blasted his way through, and Woffenden is putting serious pressure on Pedersen now. Ty Woffenden down the back straight. He's going to go wide again. He's got plenty of speed, but so has Nicky Pedersen. What a race we've got on!
Wow, fantastic speedway from Woffenden to get into second place, but Nicky Pedersen makes an excellent start. He's out in front. He's a tough man to pass. Pedersen looking good on his home track, out in front. A lap to go. Woffenden now settled in second place. Brilliant stuff from Nicky Pedersen. He's going to win it, Nigel.
Yeah, huge credit to Nicky Pedersen of Denmark. He's going to reduce the deficit to 9 in the World Championship, and he's going to win the Grand Prix in Malila. Nicky Pedersen, who rides for Dakar, delights the home crowd because Nicky Pedersen has won on his home Swedish track, punches the air, and Ty Woffenden gets second place here tonight, finishes on 17. Pedersen finishes on 17. Nicky wins the Grand Prix, but Ty Woffenden maintains the 9-point lead he had at the start of the night.
Yeah, absolutely, but what a night of speedway. Gotta say, Ty Woffenden was in desperate trouble early on in the final and had to ride overtime to get himself into second place. What an effort from him, but Nicky Pedersen, you've got to say, has been outstanding this evening. Knows the place well, kept battling away, and as it's come to its conclusion, Pedersen comes up with 2 big rides in the semi-final and the final. All credit to him, fully deserves the win. Woffenden riding excellently to get second place. A great battle now beginning to develop between Pedersen and Woffenden for the World Championship. Really is a fabulous dynamic. Lindback back in third, makes a rostrum as a wild card. Super.
Nicky Pedersen, the race winner, with Ty Woffenden second, Antonio Lindback third, and that's what it means on the night. Nicky and Ty level 17 apiece, and it is looking more and more as though it's a straight shootout for the world title between Ty Woffenden and Nicky Pedersen, Kel.
Yeah, it's developing up that way, isn't it? It really is quite an exciting times. As I said before, Woffenden needs Pedersen in some ways. They both need each other to keep forcing on, to keep pushing on. It's a fantastic battle. Pedersen wins in great style. I mean, he has done the business this evening and a clinical start in the final and rode really well out in front. Woffenden did miracles to get into second place. He was dead and buried coming out of the first corner, got stuck in traffic coming from the outside, really did extremely well to get the better of Zegar and then Lindback. All credit to Lindback. He'll be pleased with third place. Never nice, in actual fact, when you make the final, not to get on the rostrum. Inevitably, you do feel disappointed, and Zegar will be feeling that now. But that man, the night belongs to him. Not always the most likeable man, but you cannot deny the fact that he is the real deal. He is a trooper, he's a professional, he comes ready and prepared to win, and he does this evening.
Lovely start from gate 2.
And that's why he won it. Fabulous start. Round the outside, Woofenden nowhere coming off the first corner, finds himself stuck in traffic. Once again away from the tapes. Textbook start from Mickey Pedersen, who had no hesitation to go with gate 2. Lindback in second place early doors, and Woofenden has to run the gauntlet right round the outside. Very tight, gets the better of Lindback, and I thought for a moment he might well actually do the same to Pedersen here. Generates so much speed, but Pedersen's a wily man. Such a difficult guy to pass, and all credit to the former 3-time world champion. Charging hard for his 4th, wins in fabulous style this evening.
Halfway through the championship, Pedersen won't go away.
No.
Woofenden was threatening to pull clear earlier on, but this man's been on a great run of form. He will fight to the end. It could go all the way to Melbourne to decide the world title in the Etihad Stadium.
Absolutely, and it really is building up nicely. You've got to have two fellas going at each other hard, and we've got that right now, and that really does add something special to the championship. All credit to Lindback back in 3rd place. And all riders this evening have done a great job. Great attitude by everybody. It's been a super speedway meeting, and there's no doubt it's been great stuff.
Let's hear from the winner now with Chris Louis.
Winner of the 2015 Swedish Grand Prix, Nicky Pedersen. It's got to feel good.
Absolutely, especially when it's my home track. I know it was a tough night tonight, but I have to say thank you very much to the guys here in Malila. They make a fantastic track, you know. It's rain and everything, it's just been brilliant. Myself, you know, to lift it up to win in Scandinavia, I never done it before. I did it in Finland, and now to do it again here in Sweden, it's a different year this year. I really enjoy my racing, and to pull back here tonight and be strong in the final, that's just amazing.
You've gone on record as saying that you're happy with the speed in your bikes now, but tonight wasn't about horsepower. Tonight was about focus and mental strength and rider skills, and you had plenty of that.
Yeah, I spoke to Lindback in the final. I asked what gate he wanted. I had the first gate. He said he would love to have gate 1. I said, okay, you can have it. So I took gate 2, and I still managed to make it. So, no, it's about, you know, to enjoy yourself. And I found the speed in the end. I changed the bike the last 3 races. So I'm happy so far, and it's still a long season.
Congratulations, Nicky Pedersen.
Thank you very much.
Well, what a night for Pedersen. Got to give it to him. He has ridden supremely well, and he did have the speed in the final to keep Woofenden at bay. Brilliant stuff.
Here's the standings after 6 rounds of the World Championship now. Ty Woofenden on 80, Nicky Pedersen on 71, a 9-point gap for Woofenden over Greg Hancock, who's on 58, Matti Zegar 53. The top 8's clear-cut at the moment, with Janowski 5 ahead of Jepsen Jensen. Straight shootout for the world title at the moment between Ty Woofenden, who's 24 clear of Greg Hancock, and Nicky Pedersen.
Yeah, absolutely. It's quite remarkable how it's developed this evening, and with Woofenden and Pedersen really knocking themselves around. It really is been a great entertainment between the two. Pedersen on top of the box, fully deserves it. He rode great and had speed when it really mattered. Pedersen fully deserving the win, clearly delighted with it. Not so sure he gave the inside gate to Lindback. I think he was quite happy to have gate 2, winning the semi-final from gate 2. National anthem time.
The Danish national anthem.
Yeah, congratulations, Nicky Pedersen of Denmark, 3 times world champion and hoping for number 4 this year.
And
It has been a marvellous evening. We see the podium presentations now.
Antonio Lindbäck.
Great night for Antonio Lindbäck, thoroughly justifying his call-up as wildcard.
Yeah, it's pleasing to see, and of course that's great for the home crowd as well. Swedish rider. Of course, the Swedes are having a good season with winning the World Cup, and their home Grand Prix here this evening. Third place, second place for Woofy. Would have wanted the win, but had to ride really hard for second place. But as you said, 9 points is still the lead in the championship. Tough night, but a good night nonetheless.
And in first place,
and now the winner, Nicky Pedersen of Denmark. He is a class act, Nicky Pedersen, 37 years of age, and still one of the top riders in the world on top step of the podium tonight.
Yeah. Well, I looked at him earlier on, you know, Nigel, in his jeans. He is in great shape. He is he's right down on his fighting weight, and quite clearly his equipment's worked really well tonight. And when he's like that, he's a tough customer, and he's ridden nicely. And what a start in the final. Brilliant to the first corner. Champagne time and big smiles. They don't have much time to really enjoy these moments because they're all racing tomorrow.
They're going to get to Poland.
Exactly. So they can't relax too much. But nonetheless, these 3 boys have done super tonight.
Celebration time here in Malila. Hopefully we'll be back here next year, subject to confirmation. But the D&G Arena, no, I knew I'd say that at one stage, it's G&B Arena. I was thinking of my trainers for a minute there. The G&B Arena has once again been a fantastic venue and a great racetrack. There are other trainers available, of course, but it's G&B here.
G&B Arena here in Malila. Yes, move on from the trainers, yes. I think. But no, it is a smashing track, and we see some terrific action every year. And this year's been no different. You know, when you consider the conditions we had to deal with at the beginning of the night, it was an excellent night of Speedway, and does a great advert for Grand Prix Speedway once again. It's been super.
Well, these guys are enjoying this moment. The fans are hanging around for the fireworks. Hope you've enjoyed our coverage tonight. We've enjoyed bringing it to you. It's been a great Speedway meeting, and I mean, earlier in the day it was almost, well, there's no way this is going to happen.
No, it was looking very doubtful, wasn't it? You know, middle of the afternoon, you think no chance, but you just don't know, and all credit to everybody concerned.
Well, great stuff. Kelvin Tatum alongside me here. Thanks for your company as always, Kelv. On to Horsens in Denmark in 2 weeks' time. And that'll be interesting because it's a temporary track, Kelv, and
new venue, and really looking forward to it. It's a football stadium, good facilities up here. I do believe it's sold out. Let's keep our fingers crossed the weather behaves, and we should have another Super Speedway night.
Thanks, Kelvin. We'll see you in a fortnight's time. Round 6 of the 2015 FIM World Speedway Championship. The covers did the trick. It was a cover-up job in Malila as the rain poured heavily throughout the day. New material went down and the meeting went ahead with an hour's delay. But the fact that it went ahead at all was quite remarkable. Chris Holder looking good early on. The track was tricky in the first and second turn, but the top boys really got stuck in, and the race for the semi-finals was very much on. Ty Woffenden, after a 3rd place in his opening ride, the World Championship leader, reeled off a series of wins. Nicky Pedersen worked hard for his points, a real workmanlike display with 3 second places from his opening 3 before a race win. Then we saw Peter Killerman come to grief, the Dane, all 4 riders back, and Antonio Lindbäck, the wild card, one of the stories of the night, a sensational performance. Killerman went down, one of the rare restarts of the evening. He was disqualified. Chris Harris with a fantastic race win, worked hard. And as the track got better and better, the meeting improved. The entertainment was superb. And the race for the semi-finals was well and truly on. The Aussie boys, Jason Doyle and Chris Holder, going head-to-head. It was Doyle who just about pulled through. And then Ty Woffenden, going off gate number 4, pulled off a sensational win after going from last to first with a clever cut up the inside. Nicky Pedersen won the first semi-final to head through to the final in fine style ahead of Woofenden. Lindback won the second semi-final to qualify for what was a fantastic final. Nicky Pedersen the winner, but with Ty Woofenden finishing second, they finished on 17 points each on the night, and that maintains Ty Woofenden's 9-point lead in the World Championship. But it's congratulations to Denmark's Nicky Pedersen, winner of the Swedish FIM Speedway Grand Prix.